Oh boy. I think we're live. Let's hop on Twitch. Let's hop on Twitch. I'm here. Chat is there. Let's move Need up here. The chat. Nope, chat. I'll take the chat and put chat right there. Okay, and I'll take alerts, put them back there. All right. Let's pull up Twitch on the phone. So where is my Twitch application? There it is. There it is. What's all that mean? We're going to go to my channel. Wrong one. We're gonna go to the dashboard. Twitch creator mode. Where's my chat? Channel. Yeah, we just have to click into it. There it is. Okay. Cool. I'm going to set this up over here on the side. Maybe it will work. I'm not sure. Hopefully. Did not think this through and lost in a hotel room. Can't see that over there. Going to grab something to drink. What's up, guys? I'm sure one of you is me. So I left my drink across the room. It's a good thing, right? That's always a good thing. Never really is a good thing. Let me make sure I can hear myself. All right. Can we hear audio?
This video is sponsored by NordVPN. Hey, what's up?
We can. Good. Okay. Things appear to be working. Turn down the phone in the back. Let's get it. Twitch multi-stream. Okay. All right. And reset the video, and we will go. So for anyone out there who's tuning in, I used to play a lot, and I do mean a lot, of World of Warcraft. So kind of interested in seeing how this one goes. What is this story that I've never heard?
This video is sponsored by NordVPN.
Okay.
Hey, what's up?
This is episode 1. I like this intro.
Bonnie Beekeeper, you have been nominated for Horde Content Creator of the Year. Because this bit takes place back when you actually made videos, please come to Moonglade on January... So there I was, January 18th, 2020, gathered with what was possibly the entire population of Grobulus to celebrate our service.
That is a lot of people.
Community. On this sacred night of festivities, the
we got the pentagram going.
Their weapons of war, and instead raise a tankard of Rumsey Rum Black Label to the Grub Mob. A toast to all those who make our server great, and plus 15 stam for 15 minutes. Nice. The sheer volume of people at this event was unlike anything.
Was this buff I wonder if this is the one with like the grog where you used to get groggy and you like your screen would go hazy. I wonder if that's what that buff was.
I had previously experienced. I mean, sure, Orgrimmar on a Tuesday night is pretty busy, but this was something else.
But how do you not lag out?
Both Horde and Alliance together in one tiny village at peak hours on the weekend for a player-organized award ceremony? Pretty fucking cool if you ask me.
Okay.
Transfers to Grubulus are open.
The winners for most active Alliance community are Goof.
Sorry about the view, by the way. Originally, I was perched on top of that building over there, but turns out that building is cursed.
Why would it be cursed?
In the midst of the event,
I want to know why.
One can be seen appearing out of literal thin air behind me. He trades me a lucky charm, then disappears back into the ether.
They're magically delicious, Lucky Charms are.
Universe? Item 2. This was the last known sighting of the famous Travels. Seen
Travels,
here ripping
okay.
his famous catchphrase, "It's a Travels world." This hunter of Realm First 60 fame would enjoy the view for a brief moment before disappearing into the crowd. He was never seen from again. Item 3. I was assassinated by unseen assailants shortly after jumping off the building. A ghost? Perhaps.
Maybe that's why the building's
That is
cursed.
something I would do, and I was left on low health and finished with a gun, so... In conclusion, this building is haunted by me from a parallel universe.
Well, I'm glad that you explained that.
Content creator on Horde is Barney Beekeeper.
Wait, I won?
Congrats,
Coming through. Hello. Yes, excuse me.
Yeah,
Hi.
Barney.
Barney.
Hey guys, I'm... Oh, wow, I messed up. Hello. Hi.
Take me, Barney.
Where'd you want to go?
Barney.
How's it?
Barney.
Dude, that's gotta be so awesome to be in game and just having everybody shout you out like
A
that.
terrible calamity would soon befall the real world, making everything pretty shit. But as I cast my gaze across the crowd of cheering faces, I felt a warmth wash over me, and I found myself to be rejuvenated. Suddenly, I felt purpose, inspiration, and responsibility. If I am to be the Horde's greatest content creator, I need to make something that...
See, like, Barney has to be good if he's been voted the Horde's best content creator, because I used to make music back in the day with a little group called A6, and we made World of Warcraft parody music. There was the Druid Boys, there was Gigi, there was Nim. So like I knew a lot of those people in that era, but I guess that was like 14 years ago, maybe 11, 12. I'm not sure. Music's still up on YouTube, so there's that. But I will never ever share that link.
lives up to that mantle. Something epic. And then
Okay.
it happened, as it always does. The
What?
unchecked idea gives birth to a goal I know is improbable, but if I know the goal is improbable, then I must know what makes it so. And if I know what makes it so, then I'm already prepared to overcome it. I can do anything I put my mind to, because my mind wouldn't put me to do things I can't. So
Yeah,
the
why would
only
it do
holding
that?
me back
That's
is
not how minds work.
That's my ninja way.
in this moment, I knew what I had to do, what it was going to take to feel worthy of this title. I was going to have to become a Scarab Lord.
A Scarab Lord, okay. I do want to know what a Scarab Lord is. I wonder if this has anything to do with like AQ. Because I never got to play AQ. We only ran it for Transmog. Oh yeah, it is AQ. Okay.
So what even is a Scarab Lord? Why is it so epic? And
What
where
is
the
it?
hell have
Why
my
is it
videos
epic?
been, huh?
Who knows?
Where are my videos be-
Where are the new video, Barney?
Bonnie, what up, dude? Is the vid coming?
New video when, Bonnie B?
Hey guys, I'm awake now.
Video when?
Do you know what the video is coming? Did you know every day I check your channel and cry because no upload? Did you know you can...
Like, I get it. Like that's gonna be so cool. Just like all these people in your guild, you're a celebrity. You're a celebrity. Anywhere you go, you are a celebrity in the game of World of Warcraft. I'd imagine people just like trade you gold and shit. I'd imagine that's kind of what Asmon Gold feels like. Must be nice. Must be nice.
Get 68% off a 2-year NordVPN plan at nordvpn.com/Barney64.
Oh, that is a great ad read.
Make new content. Do you even give a damn about this community? When is the video? You keep saying there's going to be a video. Just call me on my cell phone. Just show my love. Foot reveal? Wow, seems like you guys really have a lot of questions.
You know, I mean,
Start with the easy ones. Where
feet
have I
are
been? You
things,
know.
I guess, right? Like, I don't understand the subtraction defeat, but
Just enjoying my favorite game where
do you,
bosses
boo?
can just decide to walk out of bounds, becoming untargetable just as they were about to die. But what if that
Oh, yeah.
a move where
Is
every
this
time
Stranglethorn
someone died,
Vale?
he leveled up, making him bigger and stronger? Man, it would sure suck if he could teleport you to him so you fall under the map and die and get kicked from the game because the game knows you're out of bounds. But then you're
Yeah.
stuck in an infinite loop of just
Oh.
looking in, falling, and being kicked.
that sounds terrible, because at what point do you have to wonder if your account is banned? The existential dread sets in and you're just scared that you just lost everything that you've been working on for years. Probably not a good feeling.
I was also playing a little bit of Animal Crossing.
I didn't even
found
read
this strange
Existential
monument on my
Dread
house, and there was
on
a skull
the
that
camera, okay?
whispered
On
to
the
me,
computer.
boasting ancient, forbidden alchemical secrets, how to transmute gold.
Hmm.
That price.
The Philosopher's Stone.
Price. I did things to those animals. Horrible things, unspeakable things. Was it even worth it? Yes. Flying under the map in my favorite video game. Did we go through that? Existential Dread. I played through RimWorld again. Probably going to make this into a video though, so shouldn't really show this. Also, planning to make this entire video series that you're watching right now. You're welcome. It's Scarab, dude. This doesn't happen overnight. Also, all of this.
What
Now
did
we're up
that
to
say?
speed.
What did that say? I need to know. Oh, how do I go back? How do I rewind like 2 seconds? Nope, too far.
Scarab, dude. This doesn't happen overnight. Also.
There we go. Moved back to the UK December 2019, moving into new place February 2020. All my belongings are on a boat due to arrive February 2020. I can stay with parents until then. I have old computer at parents. I can record videos on it. Can't record audio here though. COVID occurs. In quarantine with parents. That sounds awful. Ship with my belongings gets delayed. Won't know when it's coming. That makes sense. That happened around that COVID time. Can't do house hunting stuff because COVID. Can't make videos because I can't record audio. Stockpile footage for potential videos. Anyway, I can't read. So I feel productive. Exist in perpetual limbo, waiting, brooding. Is that everything? No. Also, I really cannot understate how awful living with my parents is. LMAO. Months pass, belongings arrive in June, move into the new place July. Right. So maybe the AI technology wasn't there in 2020, but you definitely could have recorded the audio without recording the audio. You can just run your voice through programs. Now, I can't remember what they are off the top of my head, but now you can just mimic people and deep fake your own self.
And now we're up to speed. Next question. What is a Scarab Lord? Whilst I'm sure most people who play WoW know what a Scarab Lord is, I'm going to summarize it all anyway, and it starts with the Gates of Anchorage patch. In this patch of World of Warcraft,
I never
Blizzard
played
introduced
this.
the 20-man raid Ruins of Anchorage and the 40-man raid Temple of Anchorage. However,
Okay.
these raids aren't actually open yet because the Gates of Anchorage are closed. So how do we open the gate? Well, the Anchorage patch didn't just introduce these two new raids, it also introduced a server-wide event known as the War Effort and a very, very long, notorious questline known as the Scepter questline. The
Scepter
War Effort is a giant
questline.
cross-faction fetch quest that requires each faction to hand in several thousand materials of varying rarities. Did I say a couple
Okay.
thousand? Sorry, I meant tens of thousands.
I'm assuming this is
Factions have completed
server-wide.
their list. There is a 5-day real-time waiting period where the war NPCs will move from their current location to Silithus. And once they
That's
arrive
actually
in
pretty cool.
Silithus, the Scarab Gong is able to be rung. This is where the Scepter questline comes in. The Scepter questline is a
I would love it if this turns out that it wasn't some pre-scripted tutorial or narrative. Maybe the ending wasn't scripted, that literally if you did not have enough resources, the enemy team is going to win. Therefore, Horde or Alliance would reign over the server. That would be so freaking cool.
grueling, grindy, gargantuan task that requires an entire guild's support just to stand a chance of completion. And trust me, you're going to see every single step of this bastard quest, so don't worry if I'm not going into enough detail for you just yet.
Okay.
You will suffer as I have. All you need to know right now is that the Scepter questline rewards you with a scepter. Yeah, no shit. And once the War Effort event has concluded and exactly 5 days have passed, a player can use this scepter to ring the gong outside Anchorage and open the raid for their server. Following this, there is a 10-hour period where any other scepter bearers can also ring the gong. And why would anyone else want to ring the gong if the raid is already open?
Oh, everybody
it's a
wants
tale as
to.
old as
Everybody
time.
wants to.
Mount.
Oh, a mount. Okay.
In World of Warcraft, mounts are the status symbol. In some ways,
Sure.
they're more of a representation of your journey than your character.
I was going for the
is. You
long
are your
boy.
mount. If you go to retail
But I only
right now,
saved
you'll
up a
notice
million
two things.
gold.
One, it sucks, and two, everyone just spends all their time collecting mounts from legacy content. Fuck. I mean, I'm guilty of the same thing. I'm raiding Ulduar as I record this audio. It's not even a joke. Alt tab. I'm here. Scholars and intellectuals have debated for centuries that the obsession for
Was that
mounts is the
Lorlo
only thing
and
keeping retail
Ben
afloat.
Shapiro?
I would have to agree with them. Mount culture permeates every nook and cranny of this game, and it only grows stronger as each expansion introduces even more mounts. But in a community-driven game that has evolved past the need for community, people aren't going to remember you. They'll only remember your mount. So you better make
Fair.
sure that mount
Fair.
is lit. Proof of your skill, proof of your ability to commit to a grind, proof that you're a lucky son of a bitch. Anything is good as long as you're flexing. And this obsession
I searched for hours, and I do mean hours, for the proto Drake that flew around Ulduar. Never found it. Never found it, no matter how much time that I spent. I did, however, find the rare hunter pet in shit, what's the map? Hey, what's up, Paul? Welcome to the stream, man. The map, Paul, what is the map above Borean Tundra in the Outlands? Where you get Loki, the hunter pet. Oh, dude, I am so mad at you. Fuck you. Fuck you. It's not a Rathi Basin, Salazar Basin. Is that what it is? Hold on. Don't type anything with P. Don't type anything with P or X. Map of Outlands in World of Warcraft. Shalazar. Okay. Schultzar. I can't. Anyway. No. Oh, it wasn't the Outlands. Crap. What is it? What is the map for the Lich King? Oh, where are you on? Are you on Oh my god, dude. I cannot believe I forgot Lich King World of Warcraft map. Northrend, that's what it was. Northrend. If you're on YouTube, not Twitch. If you want to swap over to Twitch, that would be great. Because I think Streamlabs only... No, you are on Twitch. I don't know what's going on then. Should be right down here. Down in the down right below me. Yes, Sholzar Basin. The legendary hunter pet. Hunter pet in Sholzar Basin. Oh yeah. The Fire Kitty. I can never pronounce it. Never gonna pronounce it. That's okay though. I did find this. I was so happy to finally find this fucking cat. But I never ever found that fucking proto Drake, and I am so mad that you have found that, Paul.
for flexing rare mounts can be traced all the way back to vanilla with the Black Karaji Resonating Crystal. Unquestionably the rarest mount in the game, even still to this day. This mount was the Doombringer, the harbinger of the end times, purely because of how rare and exclusive Blizzard made this mount. You see, this mount can only be obtained by those that ring the Scarab Gong during the 10-hour event I mentioned earlier, and once the event is over, the mount can never be obtained ever again. Never, ever. This mount is the ultimate World of Warcraft flex. This mount is what it means to be a Scarab Lord. This mount
Gotcha,
tells
okay.
the tale
Well, how do you
of
get
true
it? Can you
gaming
trade it?
legends. Now buckle up for 10 minutes of lore, bitch.
Let me ask, because I don't know the way the current classic World of Warcraft is going. Can will this patch come back around, or have they already moved past it? Because I think classic or the retail is on Lich King again, right?
Welcome to Silithus, the insect-infested desert of Kalimdor.
I never quested
this
here.
This desert was still a desert, I guess, but it was home to many bugs.
Yeah, so they passed AQ.
Exactly the same. But it was different back then, okay? You know, back when Azeroth used to look like this before Queen Ashara went and blew up the Well of Eternity. Great job. Now, these bugs were called the Akir, and the Akir were a sentient race of insectoids who were born from old god poop.
Old god poop, okay.
Look it up. Anyway, the Akir just kind of vibed for a couple centuries, not really doing much, not really making any history, not really doing anything that would draw anyone's attention. But then the Titans attacked from space.
Okay.
The Titans, who are like giant space dudes.
That guy's caked up, bro.
Through the universe one day when they stumbled upon the planet of Azeroth and realized something was off.
Wait, is this planet pregnante?
And yes, the planet was pregnant, which is good, but there was still something off, which was bad. Hey guys, should there be giant eldritch horrors infecting the planet?
Yeah, we should probably do something about that.
So the Titans swooped in on Azeroth and punched all the old gods really hard. Except for Armenthal, he kind of went overboard and ripped the old god Yasharj straight from the planet, which was a mistake.
Does that destroy part of the world of Warcraft?
A deep crevice formed where Yasharj was snapped from, and Azeroth's lifeblood poured out. Realizing that it's
okay.
simple, you can't
Good to know that
destroy
the lifeblood of
Titans
Azeroth
decided
is Monster Energy
to
drink.
Giant prisons for the old gods. Prisons that would also function as research centers so they could try to figure out how the hell to save this baby. Now remember the Akir? Turns out the Titans kind of decided to build Cthulhu's prison right on top of where they were living.
I will say this video is very well animated.
A couple thousand years later, the Titans are off in another universe doing Titan stuff. But don't worry, they built some stone robots to run these prisons. What
Okay.
could go wrong? Now that the land isn't swarming with old gods and isn't yet swarming with elves or humans, it's a pretty good day to be a troll. This is the height of the troll empire, the golden arc of troll kind. They're everywhere, and they run this shit. The Jakari tribe probably should have kept it down around Oldwar though, because they kind of woke up old god Yogg-Saron's most dedicated servant, a dude called Kithix. And guess what?
I don't know Kithix.
Swearing vengeance against the trolls for waking him up, Kithix used his mind magic to scan the planet for insecure beings ripe for manipulation.
Just wait, the story gets wild.
Remember the Akir from earlier?
Okay.
Turns out they're not all dead.
We will wait
They're just
for it.
underground and really sad about it. The perfect targets. And so he began whispering to
It
them.
looks like Cthulhu.
After decades of whispering, the job was done. The small tribe of insectoids had reproduced into
Such
an army,
good ad
and
reads.
Kithix was
Such
ready
good.
to go to war with the trolls.
Such good.
Only
Such
he
wow.
definitely wasn't ready to go to war with the trolls because he actually got his ass handed to him like the same day, and then Kithix, he just fucking died. Fuck this, said some of the.
Maybe that's why I don't know about him. He just died because the trolls beat the shit out of him.
To create the subterranean kingdom of Azjol Narub. The rest of the Akir
Oh, okay.
definitely didn't want to go back underground. Decided no, it's time to rise up and take back our land. They ransacked the prison of Cthulhu and started building an insect kingdom inside it. It's hard to say whether or not the Akir knew that there was an old god unconscious in the basement, but what we do know is that Cthulhu's latent energies started transforming the Akir, and before long they had become an entirely new race, the Karaji. They named their old god
Karaji.
prison Hive Kingdom Ankaraj, and then
Okay.
they just fell asleep for like 1,000 years.
Hey, you know what? I mean, after all of that work, you gotta get tired, right? I mean, I'd imagine that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Just need to
anyway, Silithus
relax,
is now a
right?
night elf territory because the druids
Grab a
want
beer?
to make Silithus into a lush green forest.
Wait for
and
God
plant a big tree
to
there
return? I don't know.
called Dordrasil. Oh, also, Cthulhu just woke up.
Wake up, bugs. Go do bug stuff.
And so all the bugs woke up and flooded
Gonna need
Silithus,
off.
and it sucked. Hey, these bugs are
Some
killing us,
deet.
the night elf said to the archdruid. And the archdruid was like, don't worry, guys. My son got this. And his son was like, wait, what? And then his
I don't
son
think his son's
died
got
'cause
that.
he
I don't-
definitely
he
didn't
doesn't
got
feel
this.
like he has
No,
that.
The archdruid cried, my son is dead. I'm too depressed to war. And so the bugs pushed the night elves out of Silithus into Ungoro and made 3 hives, here, here, and here. Then the bugs pushed the night elves out of Ungoro into Tanaris and made a hive here.
Oh, wow.
Then the bugs pushed into Tanaris and made 2 hives here and here. And by this point, the night elves were like, hey, these bugs are still killing us. Do something, archdruid. And the archdruid was like, don't worry, guys. The bronze drakes got this. And the bronze drakes
okay.
were like, wait, what? No, we don't care about this. Knock, knock. It's the Karaji army with huge bugs. With swords. Sword bugs. Open
Sword
the
bugs.
caverns of
Okay,
time. Stop having them be closed.
Are these like humanoid
Now that the
bugs?
bugs had tried to move on
Or
his
these
territory,
people that
Anachronos
have
was angry,
survived
so
with the
angry,
bugs?
He called up all his dragon friends to come help him nuke the bugs and push them back into Anchorage. One by one, the Drakes used their signature forbidden jutsus to thin the Karaji numbers. And then Anachronos, when the Archdruid channeled their energies to create a giant gate and sealed Anchorage shut forever. TM. With his fire breath, Anachronos melted down the dead Anubisaf into obsidian, and with it he formed a sacred gong.
I love
He
the
then
League of
produced
Legends
3 ultra-rare
crossover.
gems, and
Appreciate
together
it.
with the leftover obsidian, he fashioned a scepter.
Should you ever need to reopen these gates, take this scepter and ring the gong.
Why would you ever want to
Archdruid
open the
received
gates again?
scepter, turned to Anachronos and said, "What? I'm not going in there? Ever." And then he smashed the scepter.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
And Anachronos was like,
Okay, Dick.
and then he flew off. Present day. Turns out the bugs have realized, wait, this is a wall. We can just climb over it. Some of us have wings. Like, what are we doing? So now Silithus is being...
That's a really good
swarmed
point.
again,
I don't understand how the bugs wouldn't just fly over it or go underneath razor wire into Texas. You know, that's no, dude, that's the video is definitely not pre League of Legends. That's definitely Nasus from League of Legends. Where is it at? 100%.
Sealed Anchorage shut forever. TM. With his fire breath, Anachronos melted down the dead Anubis.
This is 100% Nasus from League of Legends.
Wait, this is a wall. We can just climb over it. Some of us have wings. Like, what are we doing? So now Silithus is being swarmed again, and we need to open these gates to take the fight to the source. And unlike the bugs, we can't just climb over the wall. So if we're going to open these gates, we need to rebuild the scepter of the shifting
You have
sands.
flying
To do that,
mounts.
we're gonna need
Why can't
help.
you just fly over the
Help.
wall?
Please wish me luck. Welcome to day 1 of patch 1.13.5. Turns out you can just climb over the wall. Yeah, we figured this out in like 20 minutes, so that's the end of the video series. Thank you for...
It's a good video. It's a great series. Appreciate it.
Okay, it turns out the raids don't actually work until the gates are open.
Oh, okay.
So, blocked out of content? Thanks a lot, Blizzard. Man, the last time I was blocked out of content like this was when I moved back to the UK and could no longer watch US Netflix. You know, the good one. Hey, stop listening to my
The
thoughts.
good one?
That's
Okay.
fucked up. I could have been thinking about
To be
anything.
fair, I think he's right because the US office is far superior to the UK
I have
office.
friends in the UK. Friends? This shit sucks. Okay, I guess now you know I don't like Friends, so we gonna stay out of my head now? Thanks. But seriously, if anyone knows how to bypass region blocks, that would be very...
Yeah, but that
me
character,
personally.
all
I guess
I'm
we'll
saying
go
is the
there.
character model of Anubis
Oh,
was
they played the
from,
one with the funny joke.
was Nasus from League of Legends.
This is laughter inside my own head.
Welcome to scenario.
%100% Nasus. 1,000,000,000% Nasus. One bajillion% Nasus. That's all I meant. That's all I meant.
Home, the final outpost. Here we can find Baristolf of the Shifting Sands. Hey, what's up? I'm Baristolf of the Shifting Sands. All you need to know about this guy is that he was brought back to life by Anachronos with magic sand, and now his eternal service is that he has to stand here and just watch forever.
Don't stand
If you think that
corrected,
sounds
sit
miserable,
corrected.
I take no pleasure in telling
You've
you
been
that
working
his
all
fate
day.
gets so much worse. Like right now, I'm supposed to be picking my quest up from him. You may have noticed he's not fucking here. We'll get to that later. Luckily
Where is
for
he?
me, another Scarab Lord target in my guild had picked up the quest earlier and was able to share it. Oh, right, Scarab Lord targets. I should probably tell you about that. Getting Scarab Lord requires a lot of people with a lot of time. So many people and so much time that even large guilds will usually opt to grind for just the one Scarab Lord. And for the most part, that was the case on Grobulus, one guild.
Do you think that we grow out of MMORPGs like World of Warcraft, or do you think that the constraints of life just cause us to not have as much time to invest into it? You know, we're pushing 40 now, Paul. So I don't know if we grew out of it, or I don't know if I grew out of it as much as just don't have the time to invest.
One Scarab Lord target. However, my
Yeah, well, that's
guild's
not
final
fair.
boss,
You know,
let's just
he's
say we had
that's all he does.
plans.
You can tell that he doesn't spend any time listening to like Keeps ads or anything.
Probably vary. To some, they're just your average sweaty raiding guild.
Final boss are sweaty nerds.
They're try-hard, lol.
I went to a dungeon with some final boss.
Dude, that would have been so
and
cool.
they
Just
were
have
all
that
so
as your
weird
job,
that
you
I
know?
ended up with all the loot. It was awesome. Made me forget about my terrible home life.
I don't think I've ever watched any of Asmongold's old content. Like, none of it.
A classic experience. The most repugnant server villains you ever did see. The bad guys.
Final boss are toxic trash.
I hate them. Okidoki spits on the ground.
I heard you have to go fully world buff to every raid or they kick you.
Final boss may have every realm first, but they
Yeah, I
will
know.
never
I
have.
know it was like WoW content, but I've just never watched it. I've only ever seen his
And given
reactions.
that this is a roleplay server, it wouldn't be very in character of us to slack during this event. Why stop at one Scarab Lord when you can have two? Oh my god.
Yeah, no, why? Why stop at one?
Two Scarab
when you could have
Lords
four?
Three.
Three, okay. I thought he was gonna go crazy and
But
double
wait,
it.
and watch what I do right here. Why stop at three Scarab Lords when you could just not stop at all?
Yeah, don't stop.
That's crazy. This is my guild Scarab Lord target list. If this looks long and ridiculous,
Exactly,
to you,
I
that's
agree.
because it is. There is absolutely no way everyone on this list is getting Scarab Lord, but when the goal is to get as many as possible, there's nothing wrong with overshotting the list. And who's that all the way at the bottom of the list?
Who?
It's
Who?
me.
Oh, hey. That's okay.
It's not looking good.
Better
But
be
you guys know
last
me,
than
I'm
never.
just here for the experience and the mischief. I've got a lot of new tricks up my sleeve I've been dying to try. It's a pun. You'll get it later. Is it like?
Oh, I get it. Yeah, because he died for it. Okay.
A little bit.
That was
But
good.
I want to see how far I can get nonetheless. After all, this event only happens once. And what kind of gamer would I be if I didn't give it my best shot? Also, I swore to myself that I would make a good video out of this event because, you know, I make videos, allegedly. Right now, Baristolf needs
Allegedly,
us to check
because
Anachronos
I'd imagine at that
through
point he had
he
not
did
made a
himself
video in
use
quite a
by
while.
This location by blood, or I guess in this case, sand. Now, your average troglodyte moron would pick up this quest and then take the 5-minute flight path to Tanaris and then walk the 5-minute trek to Anachronos.
That's what I would do.
You've entered the real gaming zone. Wow, the power of planet. It's just that easy. So now we're in Tanaris outside the Caverns of Time, or more accurately, inside a wall outside the Caverns of Time. Don't worry about it. Our current mission objective: locate
About there
Anachronos
a video a
and
year
friends.
about there for this guy.
Make it.
Oh, this is the guy.
This quest, I
Okay.
just had to walk
This is the guy you were telling me about.
So that's that really. And then I waited for my summon back to Cenarian Hold. A warrior attacked me on low health, which I don't want. I wasn't even trying to fight. Look, I blinded him. I was trying to run away and take my summon. But then I saw his last stand run out. Oh yeah, like you take the summon without killing the guy on 1 health.
No, you got to.
I took
You got
the summon
to.
back to Cenarian Hold and went to hand.
I mean,
in the
I
quest
would-
to Baron.
I would never. He was a poor, downtrodden warrior, soldier of the. I don't have a good good story behind it. However, I would not. You know, I would choose the moral high ground. And choose to let them live. You know, you never know what that guy was going through that day. That warrior, that soldier. Yeah, not a guy. Just a note here. Okay, not a guy. I'm assuming they transformed and rolled out at some point.
Aristolf, the observative among you will of course notice he's still not fucking here.
He's up.
Yeah, it turns out if you flag yourself as at war with the Cenarian Hold, you can just kill Baristolf. Well, that's good game design. Naturally, where there's the potential for griefing, you will usually find a griefer. But in this case, we weren't so lucky.
Like,
for
oh,
that.
like a former. Okay,
Enter Epi the Scarab Lord.
No one knows who these anonymous.
hold on. I have to
were,
see this.
where
I have to see this. Barney 64. Before and after. Oh, this is them. Okay. That's that's a different look. Okay. Good to know.
they came from, or even what their motive was. The identity of these fiends is still a heated point of contention today, with fingers being pointed aimlessly in every which direction at every witch guild, backed up by an underwhelming amount of circumstantial evidence. Intellectuals expect the identity of the Epi for Scarab Lord members to stay an unsolved Grobulus mystery until the end of time. But we don't need to know their identities or to understand their motives to understand their goal.
I just realized he spelled, or excuse me, they? I don't.
So here's what happened.
How do you refer to somebody in the past? Yeah, I'll definitely cut it up and then do it. Go have fun, man. I appreciate it, Paul. Thanks for hanging out, buddy.
The Griefers would revive and kill Baristolf, then people would retaliate and kill the Griefers. 10 minutes later, Baristolf would respawn, and the Griefers would revive and kill Baristolf. Rinse and repeat. But
okay.
Not only was Baristolf being griefed, no, that would make things too simple. People were also openly PvPing in the streets, knowing there was too much going on for the guards to do anything about it. But naturally defending...
Just like mobbing in the streets, overwhelming the police.
Oh, also, I have a raid at 11, because for the next part of the quest, I have to kill a guy in Blackwing Lair and bring his head to Baristolf. So, really hope I can pick that quest up sometime soon. He's up. No! The server lag!
Don't worry, you'll get it. You'll get it.
Let me speak to him, please. Please, bruh.
Barney, you get it? That's your time.
Nope, I'm fucking dead. Haha.
I'd love to see a video of this from your perspective.
It's not very interesting. I gotta completely be. Yes.
Oh yeah, we got it. We got it. Mission accomplished. Mission accomplished.
Oh, how naive I was back then. Little did I know I'd come to long for those days of waiting 2 hours to pick up a quest. But as for right now, I'm kind of late for that raid. Yes, 39 other people were waiting for me whilst this fuckery was going on. Thanks, Epi for Scarab Lord. I honestly wasn't expecting the level of griefing to be this high.
Look, I appreciate friends like that would wait that long for you.
This to happen? I don't know what world you're living in.
Welcome to Blackwing Lair. In the dark recesses of the mountain's peak, Nephilim,
okay.
The eldest son of Deathwing, conducts some of his most awful...
His hat's on fire.
Controlling mighty beings like puppets and combining the eggs of different dragonflights with horrific results. Should he prove successful, even darker pursuits rest on the horizon. But we didn't come here for another lore tangent. Even
no,
though
we didn't.
The quest doesn't have a lore reason as to why we're here.
We're here for the main
Lord
story.
Lashlayer specifically, we just have to do it to prove our worth. You'd think if that was the case, they'd have us collect the head of Firemore, you know, the actual hardest encounter in the raid, implying classic is hard. Now, this raid I'm in isn't my normal weekly raiding team. With so many Scarab Lord targets and only 5-ish raiding teams, we can only clear Blackwing Lair 5 times a week. And with no way of knowing just how fast the war effort might complete, those 5 raids might be the only heads that can go towards Scarab Lords. Some servers were predicted to, and did, finish their war effort hand-ins on day 1. And whilst Grobulus wasn't predicted to finish that fast,
oh shit.
If you want a serious chance at Scarab Lord, you need to get a Broodlord head on.
So it seems like there were servers that could like finish the quest, the main quest early. It wasn't like a time period that you had to wait. Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Your first weekly lockout. But when you're last on the list in a situation where not even your guild has enough raids to go around, you have to get creative. So I joined a GDKP.
Okay.
So what's a GDKP? A GDKP is essentially a pug ran by a trusted member of the community. They need to be trusted because in a GDKP...
There was a massive supply collection involved, and I mean, it seems like it. You know, it's just like the coordination of a server to be able to turn it in on day 1 is insane.
Once all the items have been auctioned off, the money is then totaled and divided equally amongst the raiders. You make a nice long queue, and then one by one, everyone is traded their share. It's a pretty good system.
The thing is, this event happened before everyone already knew what it was. Oh, okay. Okay.
Have fun and raid for fun. People raid for fun? Wait, people play this game for fun? On Grobulus, we have many GDKPs. On Horde side only, by the way. The Alliance don't know what the fuck they're doing, and this isn't even like a haha, Alliance suck meme.
Yeah, why would Alliance know what they're doing?
And they also outnumber us, so it doesn't even make sense. Like, what are you guys doing? This post made by the Horde Grobulus gang.
In a World of Warcraft, a fantasy game, why would you want to play a team that is just normal people. They're normal humans or normal elves. Like, you want to be like the undead shaman, or like I don't think undeads can be shamans. But that's kind of where I'm going. Plus dead chicks are hot chicks. Technically cold, but they're hot. Don't clip that.
Step it up, Alliance.
The first time in vanilla, this was a surprise. You need thousands of peace. Okay, but this time around. Oh, okay. Dude, if you can, if you want, man, it's or you can go play with the kids, man.
What the going rate would be for a broodlord head, but unfortunately for me, the head was either sold, not for sale, or just a bit too pricey for a humble Lucky Charms salesman such as myself. Once upon a time, I prided myself knowing that everything I had, I worked for, but honestly, it's kind of getting old because rogues don't really have good money-making farms, and with the great Arcanite crash of 2020, I'm starting to see that Asmongold had it right the whole time. Abusing clout for in-game currency truly is best in slot. Please send me gold. It's not even a bet. I'm not even going to send Lucky Charms anymore. I just want gold. Just give me So with no Broodlord heads available, and with all my friends either belonging to my guild or guilds that were going for Scarab Lords of their own, I had nowhere left to turn. No other options. It looks like I had run out of luck. Sight, bitch! I rubbed my Lucky Charm and put that thing into overdrive, starting a chain of catastrophic timeline-altering events. Temporal sickness is a very real thing.
Dude, this is such a well-edited video.
I manifested this timeline, but it was worth it, because in this timeline, Virgin...
You know, I mean, you gotta blast Asmongold. Like, why not Asmon Platinum or Asmon Diamond? Why is it just gold?
So in this timeline, the Broodlord head goes to me. And because I re-rolled timelines until I made it this way, in this timeline, I don't even have to pay for it. God, I'm fucking good. Anyway, the rest of this raid was a pretty standard ordeal. We finished in about 90 minutes with no wipes, which is pretty damn good for a pug. If you came for dungeon drama, I'm afraid I've let you
90
down,
minutes, no wipes? That is pretty damn good.
Wherein I go 12 seconds without getting healed.
Asmon Copper.
I hope this helps. After we killed Nefarian, we ported to Orgrimmar to auction off the loot. Usually this is done in the Valley of Spirits, but instead we opted to jump out of bounds and do some of the auctions underneath Orgrimmar.
I didn't know you could do that.
Multiple people were reported to have been bleeding from the eyes due to the aggressively orange background, so we moved to do the rest of the auctions behind the Ragefire Chasm portal. After the loot was auctioned off, I received my split of 379 gold and took the flight path back to Cenarian Hold. All things considered,
I wonder, like,
pretty good progress.
I wonder what the point of reference is for that. How much was 379 gold at that time? Again, last time I played, I'd farmed like 1 million gold, so I don't have a good point of reference. Insanely rich during vanilla. That's good to know. That's good to know because I had no like scaling point to even understand.
It secured my Broodlord head, I had doubled my gold, my roommates cooked me dinner, and I had a big bag of water and other legal substances. Needless to say, I was overcome with optimism. That was until I flew into Cenarian Hold and saw the swarming mass of people and realized, oh no, I have to hand this head in to Baristolf, and he's still being griefed.
Oh, okay.
For 2 more agonizing hours, I had to watch Baristolf spawn, live, and die over.
And I guess back then, like,
Epi for Scarab Lord had
you couldn't sell WoW tokens for gold. To be fair, I never did. I farmed all 1 million of my gold that I hoard away
I reached across my
like a shekel hoarder.
My framed image of Jeff Kaplan and closed my eyes. Please, Jeff, please help us. Hear my prayer. Do something. Do anything. I opened my eyes. Baristolf respawned, but I was late. I spammed revive and mashed my interact macro. The window opened, I clicked my quest, I handed it in, and I... Yes!
He did it.
As you can hear, I was quite ecstatic.
I mean, they did it. She did it. I'm not sure. I don't know how to refer to somebody who was a male at the time but did later transitions.
But alive and
they?
Them? Ready to hand out quests. And you want to know why? Because after 6 long, awful, harrowing hours, Blizzard had finally taken notice of us peasants and reached out their giant frosty hand and
we'll go with it.
And made Baristolf invincible. No changes, by the way. And just like that, the evil was vanquished. Epi for Scarab Lord was no more. Now let me tell you about the next part of the quest. To rebuild the Scepter of the Shifting Sands, we need to locate the 3 gems I spoke about earlier.
Sure, the Triforce.
For us, we have no idea where any of them are. And
the Chaos Emeralds, okay, good reference.
So naturally, Anachronos isn't going to be telling us a damn thing. However, there's one thing Anachronos hates even more than us.
Those damn bugs.
Baristolf reckons if we kill enough bugs and provide proof, Anachronos might yet still be swayed. So he brands us with the Mark of Nosdormu and asks us to kill bugs in Silithus to improve our shoddy reputation with the Bronze Dragonflight. I don't know what I did personally to be hated by these bronze dragons, but I'm not... As an agent of Nosdormu, anytime I kill a bug from one of the 3 hives or the spire outside Cenarian Hold, I will be able to loot between 1 and 4 Silithid carapace fragments. Once I have 200 fragments, I can hand them into Baristolf to improve my reputation with
That's a lot of fragments that you need.
Really bad. How many times am I going to have to do this quest? He will also give me a proxy of Nosdormu, an item that lets me deputize other people so they too can collect fragments without having to do all the steps that led up to this point in the quest.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool.
And good reputation, NordVPN.com.
You just need that one guy that's super invested.
Cyber deal. Save 68% off our 2-year plan and also get a free month and also get a free gift on top. Cyber deal.
I literally paid my taxes using NordVPN because the state of Michigan for some reason doesn't accept payments from IP addresses outside the USA and I'm in the UK. Hello? I just want to...
Cyber deal.
This service...
That's a good way to get around the government.
So that's...
Because government does things, right? That's not necessarily the most intelligent.
Fragments from the bugs. I set off to Hive Zora, where my guild were currently stationed. The system we had going at this point was pretty simple. All fragments farmed were to go towards the current Scarab Lord target, which at this point was Typo, and slowly over time he would deputize other people.
That was TPYO, not Typo. Unless it was a typo in their name, then that might be the most genius name I've ever seen.
Knew to let you hit mobs at least once so the fragments would actually drop. For the purpose of this video, I would be allowed to keep my first 200 fragments for myself just to serve as a benchmark for how long it would take to farm that many. I'd say under normal circumstances, a solo player could probably farm about 100 fragments in about an hour, but we weren't the only ones here. With Baristolf now invincible, there was no longer an arbitrary roadblock holding people back, and so pretty much every single guild going for Scarab Lord on the server began pouring into the hives at the same time. The floodgates had been opened. The great bug farming had begun.
The great bug war, maybe. Well, that was it. Okay. Okay, that was a good video. I need to know how the next one goes. The great bug, the bug farming, the bug war, maybe.
This video is sponsored by Displate.
Okay.
Yep. Scarab Lord AK-40 opening event. So, one of the more hardcore goals we have for vanilla is we want to have the most Scarab Lords in the world.
That was a weird transition. I don't know if he meant for that to happen or if like the video tore. Oh yeah, he definitely meant for that to happen. Or they, it, them, shit. I'll never get this right. Lord, forgive me.
It was just a dream. Of course, that was months ago.
Who sits like that on a bed?
2020.
I couldn't imagine sitting like that on a bed.
Well, you know what they say, another year, another video.
Mainly because I can't cross my legs, but still.
I feel like I'm forever apologizing for taking so long to make content, but I play World of Warcraft Classic for the PC. I don't get to have free time. What, you thought making content was my job and I should prioritize that?
To be fair,
then I realized to make good WoW content, you have to.
Guess I could open up stream on YouTube on my phone. That's why I don't miss.
I don't care. I've lost my fucking
chat.
mind. Do you know how long I spend farming consumes just so I can efficiently raid log to edit, right? I raid log to edit, right? Wrong to level several raiding ults so I can be as useful as possible in the Burning Crusade that we don't even know is coming out yet. By the way.
There we go.
See, to secure the content of the future, I have to grind in the now.
I don't have my second monitor, so I can't see things.
Playing a rogue and being a content creator. My guild operates on a very strict merit-based system, and honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way because because it feels good to earn thing in video game. Crazy concept, I know. Ironic, is it not? Playing World of Warcraft has become my true
I feel
job,
bad.
and
I miss
content
chats
is just what I
in
do for fun in my free
YouTube.
time. Being a
Whoops.
content creator truly is a joker's trick, a monkey's poor wish. You think you want it, but you don't. Speaking of having no free time, do you know what I did on Christmas Day? Killed how many bugs?
Sorry, guys.
16 hours, 1 day in 4 range. Is this seriously so much fun? This pathetic. You're gonna have to kill those bugs again. Why you're ignoring it by editing this? No one wants to hear about Nax. Welcome to patch 1.12. Nax is out. I got a ring in there last night. Wait, Nax is out? Nax out? Nax is out? Nax out? Nax Ramus is out?
BR? BR?
If you got the rep to get in.
BR?
Actually, I'm exalted. My 72 runs of Stratholm to get Shadowcraft pants speak for themselves. Wish I could tell you that was my worst item grind, but I suffered through 206 full upper Blackrock Spire runs before I even saw a Shadowcraft chest drop. A fate that is
Why would you
statistically
record all of them?
improbable, but I have the proof and, well, unlikely.
I guess you need content and video for the video, right?
The sexual tension between Rend and Nefarian is awkward, and the loot you need seems to never drop. What could be worse?
Why would it drop? Why would it ever drop?
Upgrade books in this patch that only
When you can run the dungeon again.
to go back. With this patch, we also received an array of new quests, which is just classic talk for elaborate vendoring. See, these quests aren't actually real. This is just tier piece vendoring before Blizzard figured out how to code this. However, these quests outside have something very, very important that we're going to need. The Argent Dawn Tabard. Sorry, I mean Consecrated Sharpening Stones. But I am gonna pick up that Tabard too, because it's fucking bis. Consecrated Sharpening Stones give plus 100 attack power against undead for 1 hour, making instant poison pretty much obsolete in Naxxramas except on the Fairlina and Myexna fights, because they're not undead. By the way, rogues, on Myexna you can vanish the web spray, so go get that 99. Because they're so strong in Naxxramas, I'm going to
Did not
want
know
a
that.
lot of these Sharpening Stones, about 3 per week until Classic ends, so I don't know, let's call that like 6 months tops. That's like 72 stones, but then I also need to factor in
I am tripping out
stones in Burning
with
Crusade
like
for some bosses
the
that
editing.
we don't even know is coming out yet, by the way. I'll be clearing those bosses.
Like, I
one
couldn't
per
imagine
every
watching
week
this
since
video,
they come out until the end of TBC's
intoxicated.
life cycle, so that's a lot of stones. But one single consecrated sharpening stone costs 8 necrotic runes, and there's only one place to get necrotic runes. Everyone needs them, everyone's grinding for them, and they're only around for a limited time because, of course, they are. Welcome to yet another virtual hell resource war curated and designed by Blizzard Entertainment. Welcome to the grind. But it's not the grind people want to see. People want to hear about the bug family.
Yeah, we'll know about the bug. That's where we left off.
Times, by the way. You gotta edit that. You gotta do it now. No one wants to hear about necrotic runes. Maybe they want to hear about Displate, which is this video's sponsor. They do look good on my wall. Every couple of hours, a random invasion will begin somewhere on Azeroth, signified by a purple skull on the map and giant floating ziggurats appearing in the sky somewhere within that zone. If you follow one of the necrotic bolts fired from the ziggurat, you will uncover a horde of ghosts and ghouls protecting a necrotic shard. These mobs can drop single necrotic runes, but the real reason we're here to kill them is to weaken the shard. Because once you weaken the shard enough, 4 dudes will teleport down from the ziggurat and attempt to repair it. Using 8 necrotic runes, you can curse one of these dudes and turn him into an elite Shadow of Doom. These dudes fucking slap, by the way. But this is what you came here for, because these elites drop a guaranteed 30 necrotic runes. Now, I could have busted my balls for days, maybe even weeks, fighting against players of both factions for some necrotic runes, but when I heard my friend only got 34 necrotic runes in 1 day due to the sheer congestion and griefing, I had flashbacks to...
Barney, you get it? That's your time.
Nope, I'm fucking dead. Haha. Something. And was like, yeah, fuck that, there's gotta be a better way. At first, I thought that better way would be to just farm at 4:11 a.m. on a weekday, but it turns out
seems reasonable,
you are lucky enough
but
to
I feel
get
like
a
people
shard
would
yourself,
still be
which
there.
I cannot stress to you enough just how rare that is. You still need a group to help you, a group that is also going to need necrotic runes, and a group that is also probably going to be of a suboptimal setup because it's 4:11 a.m. on a weekday. It took us about 1 hour to clear this shard, and I walked away with 124 necrotic runes. That converts to only 15 sharpening stones, and it will now be 3 hours before another invasion starts.
Dude, this is so much work.
To be awake, so this is likely as good as it gets. There has to be a better way. Now, that better way wasn't death rolling this warrior for his last 7 gold, which he needed to spend on repairs, but I did it anyway. No, the better way was in fact something so obvious I was surprised I didn't think of it sooner. All I actually had to do was just wait 1 whole month to be exact, until Christmas Day 2020, when everyone else was offline spending potentially life-threatening...
I don't remember where I was Christmas Day 2020. I know we were off of work. Yeah, RuneScape's level of work. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, man. But that was a good pun. That was a very good pun.
And that's how I farmed 200 carapace fragments. I mean, sharpening stone. Wait, what the fuck? What's wrong with my inventory? Wait,
what is going on?
Where the fuck am I? What's going on? Ah, fuck. Ow. Ow.
You alright?
No, I just fell asleep. I hit my head on my mic. Oh my god, it's only day.
Yeah, I do remember playing Fly for Fun and just like farming for like 36 hours because it was a double EXP weekend.
Let me catch you up to speed. After
I was delusional.
Resurrection at the hands of the No Changes team, the Horde and the Alliance began warring for the most precious resource of all, territory. After all, he who owns the territory owns the farm within it. Are you picking up what I'm putting down, son? As the hours passed and the many battles waged on, the territory balance shifted like so. Somewhere along the way, guilds of all sizes and creeds began to put aside their super serious dramas to band together under one banner. For the Horde. This was, at least for now, not just a guild versus guild affair, but rather an all-out faction war, and childish infighting was going
that makes sense. You would imagine that an all-out faction war would have happened.
Natural ecosystem settled in. Above ground, PvP teams would patrol to keep the Alliance out, allowing the farmers below ground to safely acquire fragments. As someone who spent quite a few hours of time doing both, I can attest to you personally that during these hours, it truly felt like I was fighting alongside the Horde as a faction. It really felt like I was like actually.
That seems like legitimate instead of like the bullshit story that they craft to try to make you feel like you're part of something bigger.
I might not be very good at world PvP, but I sure as heck like to participate anyway. Just don't let me catch you alone in Stormwind. God, I fucking love being a... Ow! This system of holding mass territory as a faction had proven to be quite successful, and after a while, the large-scale fights seemed to die down. The Horde, whilst very condensely packed, had their territory in Hive Zora, and the Alliance, whilst not exactly working together as one unit, had their territories in Hive Ashi and Hive Regal. As a full moon...
I feel like you should run a raid on the other two locations and try to kick the Alliance out, so you could double farm.
There was no drama, no bad vibes. It was just guys being dudes, hanging out, killing some fucking bugs. And then he appeared. The one who would put this tenuous Horde pack to the test. Cloaked in a mantle of feathers, brandishing a mallet, scorched by the sun itself, he descended from the cosmic realms.
Who is it?
Sage of the Six Moons. His teachings rang out in the general chat, imparting a most forbidden technique to all druids. A highly illegal Moonfire scroll wheel macro that can tag mobs on frame 1. I'm pretty sure people actually got banned for using this, by the way. With this, the druids would have power to completely disrupt the emergent ebb and flow of Hive Zora. Why be cordial with your fellow faction member and let him have that farm when he literally cannot stop you from tagging it beforehand?
That's fair. Look, all is fair in love and war. And right now this is war. And we love war.
But true balanced druids they were not, and what had taken the Horde hours to build up in mere minutes was destroyed forever. So now we had a bunch of druids running rampant below ground, tagging literally every mob on spawn and pissing everybody off.
Oh no!
It also didn't help that the druids responsible for this just so happened to be in guilds who had already gained a reputation over the course of the day for farming in the hives whilst not having proper PvP representation outside, essentially freeloading. And let me tell you, when you're on your 17th consecutive hour of PvPing the Alliance to keep people safe who are in return just stomping all over your goodwill, you start to realize that the enemy might not necessarily have a red name. The enemy might actually just be certain guilds within
it might be someone from within. You might be the enemy. You might be your own enemy.
Came to be known as the People's Great Awakening. Countless memes on the Grubulus subreddit began circulating at this time, disparaging the rat way of life whilst praising those who had previously struck a fair balance between fighting and farming. These memes, whilst very funny, World of Rat, unfortunately did very little to dissuade the druids from their path.
No, you can't just steal our tags by using an instant target and cast macro.
Yeah, but they can.
And at this point, most people had realized
Scroll will go
reality that even if the druids were to stop,
Gotta love it.
too little too late. The damage was done. Bad blood was already boiling, reputations had begun to form, and the once proud Horde pact was slowly falling apart. All according to plan. I didn't just spend the last 17 hours merely PvPing and killing bugs, no. I was also sneaking around with my rogue crew, keeping tabs on everything and everyone. I mean, it's literally my job to document this event, right? So by extension, I need to know which guilds are where, their rough numbers, their PvP prowess, their allegiances, their enemies, everything. And as the battles
just kill them as you go.
This data in secrecy, I started to realize something. The trick to the Alliance's strength, the reason they were able to hold twice as much territory as us. It was just a numbers game.
Numbers game?
A
Yeah.
numbers game with a huge
Makes sense.
flaw. You see, the Alliance didn't have bigger guilds or better guilds, they just had more guilds. But if these guilds were to start distrusting each other, if those guilds were to stop working together, well, that would be most favorable to Final Boss, a guild no other guild can possibly stand alone against. So I admit it. It was me that summoned the Sage of the Six Moons. Why did I do it? Because after years of baiting a rise out of public server admins on GTA 5 and Gary's mod, I'm sort of like the deprived mind whisperer.
Well, cause you're a fucking low IQ fucking numbnuts. Talking to you is like talking to a fucking brick wall. You're in my ear, invading my brain and lowering my IQ. Why don't you shut the fuck up for a change and actually use your lukewarm IQ to realize what you've done here and how you are fucking failed.
And I know Druid players to be the most deprived minds of all. They try to heal only to be out-healed by everyone else. They try to tank only to be told they're trolling and to...
Take it back. Take it back. Everybody knows that Resto Druids are the best healers in the game, hands down. I mean, I was so good, I never even innervated myself. I would innervate other people because they needed to spam all of their mana away trying to keep up with me rolling rejuvenations and hots on everybody. So it's just no competition. No competition.
To reroll warrior. They try to melee DPS only to be told they're trolling and to reroll warrior. And God can only help you if you're trying to play a boomkin. Reroll
That's
warrior,
fair. That's fair. You might as well reroll mage.
Complacent, beaten down, pathetic loser who only knows how to take orders. To be a druid is to be a jack of all trades and a master of none. And when you're a master of none, you should...
To be fair, we all know the ending of that saying. Jack of all trades, master of none, still better than a master of one. So, you know, druids for life.
Probably just reroll warrior. So, when a druid is finally offered not only a way to be useful, but a way to unquestionably become the dominant class in a scenario, I knew they simply
and barely anything. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I keep thinking of my time playing, not vanilla.
Was dismantled in the process, but more importantly, so was the alliances, and that was the plan all along. Quick fact check: the alliance have more territory. The alliance have more guilds.
Okay.
The alliance have more numbers.
Okay.
The alliance have more druids. I can only imagine the levels of griefing the Alliance were suffering through these hours. So now was the perfect time to strike, and Hive Regal, coveted for its higher drop rates, was our prime target.
Okay, I like it. Get in, divide, and conquer. So seeds of doubt and reciprocity within the enemies.
Is this for a regal push?
Yes.
I think it's time we let these fucking rats drown. Leaving Hive Zora completely open to attack from the north, my guild consolidated their numbers at a secret location alongside every other true and noble guild left. We were going to hit the now weakened alliance with the full force of the rat-free horde. For the last 24 hours, Silithus had been the stage to many large and small-scale PvP skirmishes, but nothing would compare to the raid on Hive Regal.
I don't know what that song is, but it kind of slaps. Kind of slaps. I love the idea of just getting in there and just overthrowing the enemy like that. That's amazing.
The Hive Regal had been a complete success. Such a success, in fact, that for the next 24 hours, nothing else of note happened. Or maybe it did. I wouldn't know. I was in this room the whole time farming bugs. My only contact with the outside world during these hours was through general chat, but because humans aren't designed to sit in front of a screen for 58 hours at a time killing virtual bugs for clout in a 15-year-old video game, general chat was even more general chat than usual. The populace in their delirium were all suffering from a mass hallucination known only as Snake Min, a deity-like figure who doesn't seem to have any certain lore or single point of origin that I could place. He exists only in the delirious scrollings of those who have contracted bug brain, a condition that
bug brain, good to know.
Enter Silithus with the intent of farming fragments. You'll know you have bug brain when you start seeing carapace fragments where you shouldn't be seeing them. You start hearing bugs that
aren't there.
Their mandibles, the howl of the wind as it rolls through the caves, and what day is it? I'm hearing bugs in real life. Sleep. Just keep farming fragments. What the fuck is a fragment? I should type in general chat. I'm severely sleep deprived. And you see,
I'm willing to bet that is what Joe Biden sees. 99% sure that is exactly what Joe Biden sees when he's on stage giving speeches. 99%.
Him, Snakeman. He is a reflection of you. His values are your values, and that's comforting. Praise him. Praise him. Bugs. Praise him. Praise bugs. However, after deciphering several general chat messages, it seems that during these hours, Hive Zora went on to become a volatile rat kingdom with no consistent faction balance. Pretty much no man's land. If you were a small guild attempting a scarab lord or just a business person trying to sell bug killing services, Hive Zora was probably your best bet. As for Hive Ashi, well, that's Alliance territory, and that's all the data I have. Because
that's fair. It's got to be hard to take over all three,
during these hours that
especially since you took over two.
One, but two Scarab Lords worth of reputation, which looking back at it now was the peak of our farming efficiency. I don't know if it was because people hadn't burned out yet, or the fact that we had uncontested free farm for 24 hours, or the fact that we just had so many people, but we were harvesting fragments at an unbelievable pace. It was during these hours that I also managed to complete my personal task of gaining 200 fragments solo, just to see how long hypothetically it would take for me to farm Scarab Lord myself. And so just before I went to bed, for the first time in 3 days by the way, I went to hand them in. But before that,
Displate.
Metallic posters for your walls. With over 1.4 million designs.
I've never gaming, looked into Displate, but I hear good things, right? All the YouTubers that promote it say good things.
Twitter have stores on Displate, which made my selection rather easy. How could I not go for Dreamwalker's incredible Warcraft vistas or these beautiful pastel wave cityscapes by Allura? Installation takes literally 20 seconds. You just stick it to the wall with magnets. It's so easy a paladin player could do it. Warning, browsing this website will absolutely make you want to purchase Displate, so make sure you're either a content creator capable of using your clout to decorate your apartment for free, or using my discount link in the description.
That's a good idea, right? Use your clout to decorate your apartment for free.
Or 37% off if you get 3 or more. Wow! I'm currently smelting my thorium that I have been getting from rich thorium veins that I have been sneaking from other people.
Yo, Barney, fuck off.
I got prepped too. I gotta get those arcane crystals. And I'm about to go to bed. I've been awake for too long. But before I go to bed, I'm gonna hand in
that's a long period.
Probably my only 200 fragments. I've actually farmed like 800 fragments, but I only kept like 1 in 4. Reminder, to progress past this part, I would have to hand in enough fragments to fill this bar, and then 2 more. Handing in these fragments will give me
200. Good lord.
I'm going to bed. And go to bed I did.
That is insane.
I got a delicious 6 hours of sleep before more work. Now, of course, some of you might be
that
thinking,
sounds like my alarm clock over and over again for 2 hours
that Scarab Lord isn't gonna happen
before I finally get up and roll out of bed.
And to that I say, I made a promise I intend to keep, that I would live up to the mantle of the best Horde content creator and make something truly epic on this event. And do you really think that this is a good ending? Right here, right now? I didn't.
No, I don't think it is. I think we need to know more about this story.
We still have quests to help with, and I'll be damned if the last 3 days were for nothing. I don't go back on my word. I promised you the good content, and I'm gonna fucking deliver, because that's my ninja way. And so that's why I, after only 6 hours of sleep, reawoke and logged right back onto World of Warcraft. However,
the grind is real, bro.
The Silithus I had left behind. In my absence, the largest Alliance guild, Goof, whom we pushed out of Hive Regal some 30 hours ago, had reclaimed the entire West Hive in a similar fashioned raid, leaving final boss with the South Hive and the surface surrounding. And as you've probably already guessed, the East Hive fell to the rats. Goddamn fucking rats. Goof,
it's always the rats. Always the rats.
To clear them out, had in this moment made a very clever play.
Ruin this and the bubonic plague and everything else. I mean, technically it was fleas, but blame the rats.
Leave their hive open to the rats. So we have a stalemate, right? No. Unfortunately, all the people with PvP sense were at this time asleep, and so those that were left decided, fuck it, let's just fight anyway. Remember how I said both hives would be left open to the rats if this occurred? Well, that's exactly what fucking happened. Wow, I can't believe it. Luckily, some strategic masterminds were able to log in before me, and
However, we can shit on rats all day long. They are survivors. Their will to live is immeasurable. So, you know, you can say all that you want, but you have to kind of respect them in the long run.
and negotiate a ceasefire. And I guess part of that ceasefire agreement was that our best PvP rogue, Kim Possible, would be taken hostage by the enemy. This is literally what I logged in to see. Roleplay from the 2 sweatiest guilds on the server? Huh? This is how you know bug brain is a real thing. Hours passed and it was clear that the easy free farming of yore was over. The war between Goof and Final Boss had definitely been a huge blunder for both sides. Alas, this was the new reality. A reality of slow farm and rats. So many rats, so many bugs,
so many rats.
And if things couldn't get worse, I then heard that one noise no one wants to hear in World of Warcraft.
What is it? What is the noise?
There was an enemy rogue in the cave. So now I had to worry about this fucking rat called, literally called Ratbag in front of me stealing my tags. And I also had to be worried about the unknown assassin who was definitely gonna jump me at low health for that easy honor kill. But then there came so many occasions over the next hour where I was definitely low enough to just be a free kill, but I didn't get killed. The scenario made no sense. The rogue was still here. But he wasn't doing anything. This puzzle weighed heavily on
maybe
my
he's a
neck,
content
so much so
creator
that I ended up losing my first
creating
tag
content
Ratbag
about
in an hour.
that.
Or did I? Your eyes do not deceive you. The gnome rogue ran straight through me to get to Ratbag, the only person not in Final Boss in this cave, by the way, and unalived him. And I mean, am I gonna really get involved?
He definitely did. He definitely did.
This is a pretty good scenario for me. But hold on a second. I know that name. That
Romric?
rogue is in Goof. What the fuck is going on?
Maybe
So
they
here's
sent
what
a
the fuck was
spy.
going on. The reason Goof wanted to take Kim Possible, the best PvP rogue we have to offer, hostage, was because they could then put Kim Possible to work in their hives, killing their rats. I love this game. And
Fucking genius. That is so fucking genius. Wow. Okay.
Kim had done such a fucking good job, as is to be expected, that they felt obligated to return the favor by sending rogues into our hives to clear out our rats. But now that I knew what was going on, I wasn't going to let Kim have all the fun. I tailed Romrek back to the deepest recesses of the Goof hive and scanned for any target not wearing the Goof Troop guild tag. Rat located. I then waited for them to do rat stuff, where I intervened and did rogue stuff. And of course, Goof let me kill them with no retaliation. So I did what I do best.
That is so good. Wow. Just the idea of them coming together that way.
Program had formed. I and others would periodically cruise through Goof Hive to make sure it was nice and goof and unalive any non-goofers that were found. And on the flip side, whenever it was obvious a rat was overstaying their welcome in the final boss hive, I would walk into the Goof Hive and beckon someone to come my way. They would then follow me back to the final boss hive and camp every rat until they either spirit revived, or in the case of this warlock Frywood, logged off.
That is so fucking great.
Though, out of every rat across this entire event, they were the most persistent and the most annoying to deal with. They had me on ignore since the moment they showed up here, and they griefed my tags for like a week straight. Almost like they were trying to get in the video or something, so fuck you, I'm not showing any of it. As the days flew by and we ticked off more and more Scarab Lords, it seemed we had finally created the perfect farming ecosystem. We had the South Hive, Goof had the West Hive, we shared the surface, and rats were heavily deterred from disrupting this, knowing exactly who would be waiting on the other end to camp them. And in hindsight, it seemed so obvious. We should have just been doing this from the start. After all, Final Boss and Goof have the same goal.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
We're both the largest, most try-hard guilds of our respective factions. This only just makes sense. But this allegiance would never have formed if not for a stupid bit of roleplay at like 4 a.m. And this is why I will never not play on roleplay servers. This just wouldn't have happened. A silly little roleplay wherein they took our best PvPer hostage, started events that would soon turn into the greatest farming efficiency module we had had since we controlled all of Regal. Sure, we weren't farming as many fragments per hour, but they were safe, easy, rat-free fragments farmed alongside gamers who were striving for the same goal.
I wonder who came up with this idea. I wonder if there was like a mastermind like on this server, but in a Discord somewhere, crafting this like, hey, crazy idea, guys. We'll trade you our PvP king for your PvP king. You come kill the people that we don't like. We'll kill the people that you don't like, and we'll just work together. That man needs to run for president, or woman. Whoever came up with that idea needs to probably run for president, because like I'm pretty sure everybody would vote for them. That's just a fucking genius idea.
goal is you absurd numbers of Scarab Lords. What we lost in fragments per hour, we made up in morale and team spirit. And honestly, I really believe that if it wasn't for Goof, people in Final Boss probably would have burnt out way sooner. But of course, Hive Regal is a secluded corner of Silithus. What happens in Hive Regal stays in Hive Regal. And so for those looking in, they didn't see the events that led up to this allegiance. They didn't see the war. They didn't see the roleplay.
Sure.
They didn't see this collaborative effort as something to praise. All they saw was collusion. Cross-faction collusion evidence collection thread. The rats were pissed. Hello all. The past few days, I've been collecting and editing down evidence.
I mean, is it against the rules
recent final boss
to work together?
Mastermind / Goof Troop collusion. Now with Obsidian Council, it looks like. Feel free to add any evidence to the collection. I'm still going through video, and I reckon the more evidence / emails, the better. This just ends up making the game worse, so hopefully we can do something to push back against it. And attached to the thread was just a bunch of clips / screenshots of random rats just getting owned and being surprised they couldn't walk in as a solo player and just free farm in Hive Regal. Suffice to say, we didn't get banned, shockingly, but it just goes to show how badly Bug Brain was affecting some players. For them, it was tough to see that the fact of the matter was Final Boss and Goof had just realized fighting each other at this point was a waste of time, and the best course of action to achieve the goal of farming as many Scarab Lords as possible was to just keep each other happy. This was a destined fate. It
Makes
could have
sense.
gone no other way, and the proof of this is that this Horde X
It's called
Alliance
compromise.
team-up was being mirrored across plenty of other servers. More importantly, however, this was also being mirrored in the fucking lore taking place in this event right now. The Horde and the Alliance are canonically teaming up to storm Anchorage. Did you miss that? This is peak World of Warcraft. But as the Bug Brain virus spread, the collusion statements began to increase in ridiculousness. For example, collusion on an RP server should be grounds for immediate removal, which is just, bro, you're playing on an RP server. How do you think this occurs, if not for collusion between factions? Lol. Was me not killing Kumin collusion? Hi, welcome to Did You Know, idiot? The Horde and the Alliance learning to put aside their differences to work together for a common goal has only been like the main plot point for like every single fucking WoW expansion since, I don't know, like Warcraft even existed.
Only together, united against the shadow, will you be able to save this world from the flame.
You and I stood side by side on the slopes of Mount Hyjal. That world tree did not fall.
How come they can understand each other? Like, at what point in the lore of World of Warcraft were they able to understand each other? I don't know when. Maybe it was for the Battle for Azeroth. I don't know. But last time I checked, I could not speak with Alliance players.
Because the Horde and the Alliance worked together.
Cross-faction collusion. Consider yourself reported, you dirty colluders. Now, I am cherry-picking. It is worth noting that these rats were definitely in the minority of people, but they were a very fucking loud minority. So loud, in fact, that sitting President Donald Trump was forced to make a statement to combat the fake news regarding the collusion. Someone commissioned this and put it in my guild Discord. I had to use it.
This is for the WoW Classic server. Grabulous. Grabulous, okay? You need to know that the Goof Troop did not collude with the final boss. There was zero collusion. They are innocent, okay?
I did not know Thrall was raised in a human camp.
Is fake news, fake news. All
So much lore that I don't know.
Did you hear that? All charges dropped.
With a full pardon from the President of the United States,
Good to know.
Goof and Final
Good to
Boss
know.
continued
They
to
were
work
pardoned.
together towards securing Grobulus's legacy. Together, we were going to farm as many Scarab Lords as possible before the gates would open. But time was running out. As guilds began finishing up their bug farming and moving on to the next part of this cursed quest, don't ruin his moment, you idiot. They would naturally turn their focus towards completing the war effort. After all, they want to go and open Anchorage and raid it. It's like the whole point of this event. At this point in the timeline, it's August 8th, 2020, a very special date. There is currently only one scepter bearer, Typo, but that's all about to change. For if I were to jump forward one day, 4 other people obtained their scepters overnight. I was there.
That's actually really quick.
But we'll get to that later. Because that's not why August 8th was special, no. For that, we need to turn our attention to the war effort data between August 8th and August 9th. August 8th and August 9th. Did you see it? That's an awful lot of Peace Bloom handed in on the Horde side, don't you think?
25,380 Peace Bloom to be exact.
Well, that's because August 8th was a very special day. The day of the Peace Bloom DKP.
What is the Peace Bloom DKP?
Peace Bloom DKP.
What is that?
Dawnbreaker invites all Grobulans to its first Molten Core PDKP. Buy gear with Peace Bloom. Wow. Time. Discord. See you soon, Farm Peace Bloom.
Thanks, Heavy Hoof. I will. And I did, because this post was made like a week before now, and when you're sitting in a cave farming bugs for days on end, there's a lot of downtime. A lot of downtime to alt-tab onto your secret alt no one knows about and pick Peace Bloom completely anonymously in Durotar. That's a lot of Peace Bloom. But the real flowers were the friends I made.
How can you farm
wait, don't you want to
and
the war effort from being
farm?
completed? After all, once it completes, there are only
This
5
is not
days
farming
until the gates open,
simulator.
and then you can't farm Scarab Lords anymore. And yes, you are
Summoning Salt reference. I
Peace Bloom
just
is pretty
caught
damn
that.
easy to come by, so you know those bids are going to get absolutely fucking crazy. Oh my god. And if it's one thing gamers like seeing, it's
I did not
those
catch it.
fucking numbers. And when else am I going to get the chance to see someone buy a Mage Blade with flowers? I have no choice but to go. However, don't get the wrong idea. I'm not going to be bidding on any items myself. Corehound Tooth? Perdition's Blade? No thanks. I'm good with my incredibly suboptimal double gut gore ripper. Yes, I have Distracting Dagger in the bank, and no, I'm not going to use it, because even with this handicap, I'm literally a worldwide all-star, and you're all fucking cringe. But wait, then why are you farming Peace Bloom for the Peace Bloom DKP if you're not going to bid on items with your Peace Bloom and the Peace Bloom DKP? Come on, guys, you know the answer to that. Chaos. After this Molten Core, I'm going to run through the logs and check to see who are the absolute worst players. And then I'm going to give them all my fucking Peace Bloom. I think the true spirit of the war effort is to give everything you have for a greater cause. And what could be a greater cause than gearing up some guy who's going to quit before Naxxramas? Now that's content. Welcome to Molten Core.
Fair.
Hope you like the entrance.
The chaotic neutralism here.
A GDKP is a raid wherein the loot is bid on with gold at the end, and then everyone receives an even split of that gold. With these base rules in mind, and knowing that the objective of this raid is to get as much Peace Bloom as possible for the war effort, one can reasonably assume that there is going to be no Peace Bloom cut at the end of this raid, since it's all going to be handed in. However, there was one more slight quirk to this GDKP that, in hindsight, I can't help but feel should have been on the advertisement. Instead, this quirk was nestled deep inside a Discord chat that most people had only just now started gaining access to. Now, because of the events you're about to see, I no longer have access to the Discord, so you're going to have to put up with my MS Paint recreation. Within this room in this Discord was a list of every piece of Molten Core gear. Each piece of gear had a number assigned to it, and that number indicated the flat price.
Is that in Peace Blooms? It's about to ramp up as if it hasn't been ramping up this whole time.
Price, and then you would wait for it. /roll on the gear along with everyone else who wants to buy a roll? Does this sound like a GDKP to you? No? What the hell is this? Why would they call it a GDKP if you can't even bid on gear? This actually is just a free roll pug with extra steps, and there's a reason free roll pugs don't exist anymore, and that's because they are shit. But there you have it. I had joined the world's first GDKP with no bidding allowed. It was clear many people were expecting this GDKP to be run, for use of a better word, properly.
Am I reading this item sheet correctly? There's no bidding?
Wait. I thought this was a DKP.
Someone was going to have to speak to the manager. Once we had zoned into the instance and we were all inside the same voice chat, I decided that someone was going to have to be me.
Good to know. We're about to go vertical. Okay.
Like the maximum amount of Peace Bloom as possible.
I thought we hit a plateau, or I thought we hit a point of ramp when they worked together.
That's what, like, a DKP is. My argument? Irrefutable. My social capital? Extensive. My intellect? Unmatched. The facts and logic were aligned for a perfect KO. But the response I got might surprise you. Or it might not. I think we all know how this one ends.
If there be Peace Bloom in the end, you can still turn that in.
Yeah, you're not planning on turning it in anyway?
No, I wasn't. I don't think most people here were planning on doing that. I think most people were here to buy gear with Peace Bloom and then just auction house what they didn't use. I think expecting fresh level 60 casuals to care about your war effort above their own gold income is fucking insane. Especially when, let's just keep it real, most of these players are not going to clear AQ40. In fact, I think it's a safe bet to say that 50% of these players will probably never even walk into the instance portal. But as for me,
until years later,
I would rather
when we run
That's what I told them.
for transmon.
Turning it in anyway.
Delete that shit. Fuck the horse.
Yeah, I would sooner delete it than not get anything in
It's up
return.
to you, man. You can sell it, you can delete it.
You should play Alliance, you fucking
With the Game Awards in full effect, it seemed I had upset the host with my humble suggestion to run this DKP properly. And the host had evidently not caught on yet to the fact that a lot of people in this raid were feeling pretty pissed off and misled. I recognized some of these names in the raid.
That
I
makes
had seen
sense.
them on my farming alt. They had spent days picking Peace Bloom alongside me.
I'd imagine the fact that you put in all of this work and it was clearly not represented correctly within the representation of correctness. Therefore, I would assume that most people would just like dip out and just be like, fuck this.
Against me, I guess. So I knew they definitely had at least as much as me. Naturally, they didn't want to let their farming be for nothing, and so they started bargaining.
What if you pay double? Can you get an additional roll?
That's a good idea. And that was a good idea. If people could pay double their roll fee each time they wanted to re-roll, things would at least be more interesting. It still wouldn't be a DKP.
What happens if people roll hundreds?
Whatever this is. And it wouldn't fuck over the poor noobs who have spent 7 days picking flowers. For God's sake, won't someone think of the noobs? With too many people asking too many questions, Heavy Hoof was out of options. He was about to explain why there was no bidding, why any idea that involved acquiring more Peace Bloom would be thrown out immediately. And that reason was...
I didn't really want to deal with the logistics of having to deal with bids that go up to the 10,000s.
Fuck. Yeah, but isn't that like the point? Was I wrong? I don't think so. But I do see where Heavy Hoof was coming from. I wouldn't want
that
to
is a
deal
lot
with
of
the
Peace
logistics of
Blooms.
trading several thousand Peace Bloom either. But that's why I'm not running a fucking Peace Bloom DKP.
It's a good point. It's a very good point.
I don't host Super Bowl parties either. Wanna know why? Because I don't like football. Also, I don't own a fucking TV. So don't you think it would be a bit shit of me to then host one anyway, and then when people show up to my Super Bowl party and start asking where the game is, I turn around and say, Super Bowl party? This is a superb owl party. You read my invitation wrong.
Superb owl party. Very nice.
I know this is
very
stupid, but
nice.
Think about this from my perspective, okay? I don't want to deal with the logistics of having to go to television. Come on, man. Yeah, but sure you can agree that it's misleading to say this is a DKP when you're missing the entire point of a DKP, right?
Yeah, I don't want to discuss this for you.
No, the point was to get people to fucking farm Peace Bloom and then turn it in. So if you want to go turn it in, go turn it in. We're going to raid MC and then have fun. So if you don't like it, get the fuck out.
Whoa, you good?
No, we're good, dude.
I wonder how many Peace Bloom were deleted this day.
Okay, but one more question. Do you guys think Heavy Hoof is acting sus?
Well, dude, if you don't like it, feel free to leave.
If I leave, will you answer the question?
It's a stupid fucking question.
I don't think so.
Perfect. Well, we all do.
Alright, let's pull.
These vibes were fucking rancid. So terrible, in fact, that given the choice between experiencing my first change of scenery in 2 weeks and farming bugs, I picked the bugs. Get me the fuck out of here.
You! Flame!
Hi.
That was a waste of time.
Hold on, one sec. Yo, Barney, how was the Peace Bloom GDKP, dude?
Not good, you guys. Not good. The Peace Bloom DKP had been a resounding disappointment. In an alternate timeline, it was probably a really fun raid with sick loot. Alas, we are here in the timeline where the people who stayed lament to me in real time how shit the raid is. I would be lying to you if I told you that the entire situation had low-key pissed me off, because my ire was far from low-key. 2 weeks of farming bugs had left my mental on its last thread, and this molten core
Day in and day out. That is admirable to be able to do that all day long, just farming bugs.
In October of 2019, you asked me how I make my gold, and I gave you my honest answer. And you all laughed at me. Funny little salesman selling his funny little Lucky Charms. How cute, but also stupid. Roleplayers are so fucking stupid, aren't they?
Imagine some random dipshit just comes up to you and wants to trade you a white item that does nothing. And then you tell him, I don't want it. And he's like, no, you do want it. And he just keeps fucking insisting. Yeah, I can only imagine how annoying that would be.
Is this a lot of gold at the time?
This is the beekeeper fortune. Depending on who you ask, this is either blood money acquired through the peddling of useless items or the life savings of an idiot commodifying forces above his understanding. I personally think my overexposure to dragons is to blame because more and more I find myself compulsed to hoard gold. With each month I seem to double my charm output.
Billionaire status. Oh my god.
Up until now I had remained a passive player in the war effort, but
I wonder, like, at the time, how much gold Asmongold actually had. Like, with all the people that would probably just give him stuff, 5 gold at a time, just for being him, I'd imagine he would be billionaire status as well.
No more. I was going to use every single piece of gold I had to delay that gate from opening for as long as I possibly could. Starting, of course, with the Peace Bloom market, which I...
Oh, he's just destroying Peace Bloom. Okay.
Gaze in awe as I deal with the logistics of trading several thousand Peace Bloom to my bank hold. Delicious vendor trash. Yes, I could post this all back on the auction house for an easy profit, but I don't want anyone handing in anything. This isn't money to turn into more money. This
is a lesson. This is a point to prove.
I went down the war effort list, draining each and every resource from the auction house until it was drier than my bones. One thing you should know about me by now is I don't really half-ass anything. Which is why I then took a flight path straight to Gadget Sand to clean out the neutral auction house as well. As I pulled up alongside a gnome mage and made my search for linen bandages, the current hot item, I found a bunch of listings for 1 copper each. Well, that's good timing. As I started to buy them, I found that someone else was buying them at the same time as me, so I instead started from the bottom and worked my way up. It was at this point that I got a whisper.
Those are for the Alliance, dude. Stop buying them.
Was the gnome next to me buying these auctions from a Horde player?
Sounds like collusion to me.
I'd have to double my purchasing speeds lest our pure roleplay server fall victim to yet more game-breaking collusion. Question mark? I responded.
The linen cloths you just bought for 1 copper a stack are for the Alliance.
Yeah, that sounds like collusion.
Okay, cool. They can buy them from me for a higher price then. This, of course, was a lie. I obviously wasn't planning on reselling anything, but I said this because I knew it would piss him off.
Fuck you.
I tried to respond, but they put me on ignore. They then went and cried about it on the Grobulus Discord, stating,
"Shout out to Barney B from Final Boss for buying the bandages and raising the price on them."
I love how he slows it down and makes it sound like it's mentally deficient.
"Love at Barney B." And tagged me, UJ, World Buff Fanatic, King of the Colluders, and Rat Royalty, then responds,
"Yeah, don't blind sell any items. I can hook you up with some contacts."
The colluding Warlock then says,
"I was coordinating it."
Oh, when you guys do it, it's coordinating, I see.
The ally I was selling them to was right there buying them as I posted. Barney B
just bought them faster. Definition of a skill issue. That is absolutely a definition of a skill issue.
Faster.
And by faster I did. I cleaned out the neutral auction house of every single war effort material, but somehow I still wasn't sated. There was only one thing left to do. As I started on my flight to Thunderbluff to camp the Horde auction house, I alt-tabbed to my guild Discord. At everyone. From now until the conclusion of the war effort, I will be reimbursing all war effort material purchases with 5% interest. Please screenshot your TSM Ledger purchase history and proof that you vended or deleted the items to receive payment. Ideally, I'd like people stationed at both neutral and Horde auction houses 24/7, so if you have as much time as I have money to burn, please do your part for our most noble goal and stop this war effort! However, word travels fast. Faster than a Wind Rider, it seems, because when I showed up to Thunderbluff to do my thing, I was swiftly assassinated by 2 rogues. It was clear I personally was not safe to show my face near any auction houses ever again, but that mattered not. I already had my...
They were just waiting on him.
Doing the beekeeper's bidding, so I could get back to Silithus to farm bugs. And then my computer crashed because my hard drive had failed. The hard drive containing every single piece of footage I recorded for this event thus far. Now inaccessible. Corrupted.
That's not good.
All gone.
It's very bad.
My roommate and I troubleshooted for hours on end as we tried to get the data off the hard drive, but nothing worked. We were left with just one option, which was to send the hard drive off for data recovery, which costs thousands of dollars and might not even yield any results. But I didn't have thousands of dollars to spend on data recovery anyway, so I was fucked. This was a one-hit kill to my morale.
Dude, that's terrible.
It had all been for nothing, and I wasn't just done with Scarab Lord. I was done with World of Warcraft. I picked up my phone and opened Discord to let my GM know I was quitting, but he had already messaged me first. A link to the Scarab Lord list. It had been updated. My selfless dedication to the cause had not gone unnoticed, and given that final boss runs on a merit-based system, the Scarab Lord target list had undergone some renovations. I was now no longer number 18 on the list. I had been bumped up quite a few places to number 11. Holy shit, this might actually be doable.
Okay.
I glanced down at my computer, inside of which lay a rotting, inaccessible hard drive. I may have lost everything that came before, but I can still show you how this finishes. I plugged in a 3 terabyte external hard drive and re-downloaded World of Warcraft, because I made a promise.
Okay. How does this finish? How does this conclude? The story, so good. So good.
By the way, I fell through the map into Caverns of Time and I can't get out, so if anyone could send help, I'd really appreciate it. Please send help. I can't leave.
You're not getting out.
I'm fucking stuck. Like, I'm actually fucking stuck.
You're gonna stay stuck. You ain't getting out of that shit.
I've got 11 minutes on my Hearthstone as well. This is actually tragic. I don't know what to do.
I'm sorry, man. I'm about to head out, so.
No, you can't leave me. You can't leave me alone in the Caverns of Time.
Sorry, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I really do have business to attend to.
I'm sure you do. I'll see you later. He really left.
Wow.
I can't believe it. Okay, I guess I'll just look around then.
It's only 11 minutes, right? You can just go AFK for that.
Timelines converge and dragon asleep. If on your journey this place you meet, do not eat the sand.
Don't eat the sand.
Do not delve down. Leave at once. Forget what's found.
I am so glad someone told me not to eat the sand, because that was the first thing I was going to probably do was eat the sand. That's just what normal people do.
Do not make a sound. Do not eat the sand. Temporal sickness, fractured mind are all the way should you try.
Okay.
To peer into the depths of time. Do not eat the sand.
I feel like this is a poem about not eating sand, potentially because there may be cat poop in it. I don't know. And everybody knows that cat poop leads to crap. What is that disease called? Trigonometry, I think. Mad Seasons How? Mad Season Show is voicing that.
Whoa.
Wait, no. No. Hold on. This is number 3. Nope, this is number 3. We're good. We're good.
Oh, that's a big dragon. Listen, I actually didn't want to be here in the first place. I fell through the ceiling. I was fighting a warlock. God, I promise this is the truth.
Yes, most visitors relay some version of that tale to me.
Oh, thank God. See,
It has never saved anyone before.
What? Well, then I can be the first. You don't have to
Could
eat
be.
me.
You could be the first.
Give me a lifelong ban until next expansion, because I do need to come back here for 2 dungeons and a raid.
You're a funny one, aren't you?
Oh, I don't know about.
Next expansion, he says.
Yeah?
As a rogue.
Yeah?
You did not see everything.
Hello?
Of course he didn't see everything.
Can I just leave then?
They're just an undead rogue, not a fucking magical dragon.
I saw what would have happened if I...
Forget.
Oh, see, that has your attention. Hey, what if I was to eat them?
You must never meet them.
I said eat them?
My cavern is not the shortcut to you learning the arcane arts.
Oh, so you do think it would work?
Leave immediately.
Yeah, I'm gone. Hearthstone away!
That one's going to be trouble.
Okay, so we are still starring Goof Troop and Final Boss. Special appearance by Uber Danger. Special appearance by Mad Season Show. Special appearance by Print. Special appearance by Chills. Is that like the Chills? Like Burger King foot lettuce. Number 5. Burger King foot lettuce. Did I say? Yeah, did I say Prince? I stop gaslighting me, bro. Stop gaslighting me. I totally said print, or multiples, prints, multiple prints. In loving memory of my mental well-being. Okay, fair. Number 1. Laptop cord plugins. Pint. Dude, no. It said print. Uber Danger, Mad Season Show. The R is silent. It's a silent R.
If it isn't my...
It's a silent R, Paul.
If it isn't my favorite regular, good to see you again. What'll it be, the usual? They should really call me Barney Barkeeper, right? No, but the bees are very important. I need that honey for the mead that you're drinking. What's that? Video when? What the fuck are you talking about? I don't make... Oh, wait. That was what I was supposed to do last year. That was before. I miss when things were simple. Well, I suppose you've waited long enough. Now, where did I leave you? Oh,
I feel like I've heard the name
my hard
Pint.
drive had just crashed and I lost everything. That's pretty bad. But then I got bumped up to 11 on the Scarab.
Also known as
That's
Print.
Good. However, before we jump back into Silithus for the conclusion to this epic tale, there are 2 elephants in the room I need to quickly address.
Okay.
Elephant 1. Chronologically, this doesn't happen until several weeks after the entire AQ event had ended, but spoiler alert, my data was eventually recovered. That's pretty good. I very much appreciate all the kind messages offering recovery advice, software keys, and even financial assistance to help cover the recovery costs. But, and I mean this in the most undickhead way possible, guys, how do you think I made those first 2 videos if the footage wasn't eventually recovered?
It's a very good point. That is a very good point.
For your critical thinking abilities, okay? I know most of you
I was
are-
wondering that exact
Yeah, it
question
turns out
myself.
When you're a content creator and you complain about technical stuff on Twitter, sometimes you get contacted by epic social media specialists who work for, I don't know, let's say Western Digital. You know, only the leading brand in data storage who want to not only attempt to fix your hard drives for free, but also send you extra hard drives for free to make sure this kind of thing never happens to you again because I make video game videos. Naturally,
I mean, that's good.
Only a
Publicity, you know?
Man, I really needed that win. But wait, there's more. After Western Digital supplied me with multiple new hard drives totaling 5 terabytes of storage and recovered 95% of my original data, I candidly spoke to their social media specialist in
Why not
regards to my
100%?
being able to even tell you that this happened because I have social anxiety and I thought I had to ask permission. Because I really wanted you guys to know that they literally saved this video series, and I don't mean just data-wise. I mean, if it wasn't for that DM on that day that my hard drive crashed telling me that there's still hope, I don't know that I would have even had the motivation to continue.
That's
even with
fair,
me being
right?
bumped to
Like,
number 11 on the Scarab list.
I get it.
So I
You
said
put
that,
so much work into
they
something and
responded,
everything falls
"Would you
apart. Why
like
do you
us
want to keep going?
sponsor episode 3. Wow, would I? And I was going to do that shit for free. So, if you're in the market for data storage,
Hard to say. I am definitely enthralled in this story. I didn't expect the hard drive to crash. I thoroughly love the idea of... Oh, what's up, Halo? I thoroughly love the idea of Alliance and Horde swapping players just to kill people that were just being complete shitbags. I love it. That's such a good fucking idea. Kudos to that person.
I suggest WD Black. Don't get caught out like I did and nearly lose your life's work because you didn't back it all up like a moron. Browse numerous...
Dude, all that
storage
free
options today at
publicity.
shop.com.
I mean, I guess it technically wasn't free. They provided a service and some hard drives,
Saved my channel,
but like
most importantly, they saved my data.
some great
Elephant
publicity.
2. Did I just spoil the ending and the title? Yes. But hear me out, okay? Before you come to my humble inn with your pitchforks and torches and thunder furies. Guys, it's been over a year since the great bug farm of 2020. I play WoW every day, and I stream it too, twitch.tv/Barney. As much as I would like to say I smuggled the rarest mount in the game past the watchful eye of all my stream viewers and have kept it hidden away in the bank all this time in preparation for a grand reveal during TBC, the expansion that famously invalidates ground mounts faster than any other expansion to date, rendering the Scarab Lord mount flex obsolete because it can't fucking fly? No. Sorry. I haven't just spent the last year using my Raptor mount for the meme. I think it's
you would think at some point that the bug mount would just like evolve wings.
Some of the best media ever conceived opens with a spoiler. Romeo and Juliet, Pulp Fiction, This Is Cope. But even so, I made a promise that I would see this event, this video series, this journey right through to its conclusion. And this is not where I gave up. Look at how long this fucking video is. You know I've
How long is
a
it?
good one. It might not have the ending some of us wanted, but in life, you gotta push that lucky charm.
48 minutes and 55 seconds. That is a long video.
If you don't sell it, they still have to show their back to walk away. This
could stab them in the back. That's where every good rogue would stab them.
Fate and said, "My failure is on my own terms." This is the tale of a rogue who struggled to the bitter end, giving nothing but 100% at every opportunity so that even defeat might be a proud moment. This is the tale of the rogue who ran out of time.
The rogue ran out of time. Okay.
And of course, our story continues in Silithus.
Wouldn't it be wild if it was some other rogue on that list before or after him? Them, she, it. Never gonna live that one down.
In the future, refer to this
or learn that one.
streaming career as foreshadowing Scarab Lord events, but I'd argue obtaining free hard drives due to funny internet video is just a character trait at this point and less of a narrative that I'm controlling, but I digress. I was back and ready to... Because there is no end to my suffering, hee hee. But when I logged in, I found Silithid horrors untold. And I don't mean the bugs. Oh my god, I have no add-ons. But that was not all. Oh my god, even if I re-download them, I won't have their settings saved. But that was still not all.
By the way, the gates open in 5 days.
Wait, what? Remember how me and a bunch of my busy bees were using my untold riches to gatekeep the war effort's completion? Well,
yes.
With me offline for a whole 24 hours trying to fix my hard drive, there was no one left to provide gold to the auction house sitters, which means that the war effort had been completed.
That makes sense.
There was now 5 days exactly.
I kind of feel like they're the George Soros of World of Warcraft.
Ahead of me, I was running out of time. Now, I could sit here and tell you about how for the next 2 days I farmed more bugs, which is exactly what happened, but I don't really think we need any more of that. At least for now. Instead, I'd rather tell you about some of the notable people I met during my time in Silithus. Starting, of course, with...
Need a hitman, okay. Subterfuge in Silithus.
If you're playing World of Warcraft Classic for the PC on a roleplay server and someone whispers you,
"Wanna make 100 gold an hour?"
I would recommend you immediately block this person and log off for the next 24 hours just to be safe. Some things are better left unknown. Me, however? Well, I never could resist the call of the
abyss. It's 100 gold, you know?
Bug brain, so I would have suggested anything, to be honest.
Something you're doing? Yes. Need this scumbag ally killed.
Ooh, my rat cleaning reputation was preceding me. Name and guild, please? I responded, even though neither of these things actually mattered. I was trying to imply that there were certain Alliance members I wouldn't kill, especially since at this point we were leaning heavily into the collusion memes, even going as far as to leak submission form 1072C to Reddit, which implied we would have to ask permission from an officer before being allowed to PvP anyone else.
Name is Camel Spider in TOW. He is in the S-hole in Ashy.
Wait, Hive Ashy? Oh no. There are very few blind spots in my bug farming timeline, but none so big as my Hive Ashy blind spot. And for good reason. Hive Ashy was consistently swarming with Alliance throughout the entire event. Alliance we had pushed out of Regal weeks prior, Alliance who were molding over the collusion, Alliance who would absolutely kill me on sight were I to show up. And believe me, I tried to make peace so as to document the Hive Ashi history, but my PvP immunity could not be guaranteed. But let the record show, I really did try. Hive Ashi, the one place in Silithus I don't want to see any closer. And the one place I'm definitely just gonna go to. Lord.
I was gonna say, yeah, you have to, right? It's 100 gold.
Populated alliance zone on the map, did you? I live for this. I sprinted into the next room over to steal a rich thorium vein from Fiber.
Yo, Barney, fuck off.
I got prepped too, and snuck away from my Hive Regal farming duties. I would surely not be present for the 11 AM attendance check to collect my bi-hourly bug kill points, but I would certainly hit present anyway. I'm not above BKP fraud if it means I get a death sting, and spoiler alert, I get a death sting. Not that anyone was suspecting I was stealing company time anyway, but as long as I'm back in Hive Regal,
I love that it's referred to as company time.
I should be any the wiser. I'll be 100 gold up, I'll hit the thorium node on respawn, and that'll just be another dub for the boss bitch Beekeeper. God, I'm good.
Until they find out after the video's released that you were stealing time.
So we're back in the mine at Hive. Surreptitiously, I crept through the caves. This place was busy, so I definitely didn't want to be here longer than I had to be. And actually, my target has logged out, so... Ooh, thorium vein. I can't keep getting away with it. Just then, new orders came in. I was now to kill the mage in the back of the Hive. And that's good. Better, even, actually. Because let me tell you, you can never get enough practice killing a mage. It's as they say, time saved killing a mage is time saved. Time saved killing... Time spent killing a mage is time saved later.
Okay, yeah, because I've never heard of that before. I don't know if that's a real thing or not. But for the sake of the story, we'll go along with it.
I have been very responsible for. I found them all alone and ripe for the picking in the back of the room.
Olmo.
I activated Cold Blood for a guaranteed crit and near enough cut the mage's bussy clean off with one swing.
Oh, he destroyed that mage bussy.
It's a blink getaway, but unfortunately for them, this is a certified solved matchup, and I'm always 10 steps ahead. Like that blind, for example, that's to bring out the predictable ice block, all according to plan. Now all I have to do is wait out this ice block and predict the final blink, and because time always has a way of ending up on my side, I know the mage is going to blink in this direction. Oh, that's not good. I had been bamboozled by the blink. And now
where did it go?
The mage running out of the Hive screaming for help, it would no doubt be mere seconds before everyone collapsed on their location. I activated prep to reset my cooldowns, activated Cold Blood, and sprinted after them. Slowing down the footage, you can see I actually passed right through a Night Elf rogue. As we made it back to the surface, Olmo was allowed one last look at the sunset before I secured that bag. But I wasn't out of the woods yet. A mage with surprisingly good reactions caught me out of my vanish, and with no prep to reset my cooldowns and no sprint to escape the Frost Nova, I was a sitting duck. I had to think fast.
Oh no. How do you survive?
Check this out.
Just gonna blind him and walk away? Apparently walking away.
Loud education. You chased his ass down Limau.
And that was it. A clean hit.
Job done.
No witnesses, an easy 100 gold, and I'd be back in time for registration.
There were some witnesses though. There were definitely some witnesses.
More bug farming. My client did something unexpected. They revealed to me their actual identity, and as it turns out, Nita Hitman was someone I was already quite familiar with.
Introducing Chatu, the human paladin.
Okay.
Something you need to understand about me is that for every tale I tell you, there's 100 of the exact same nature that go untold. The Barney Beekeeper iceberg runs deep, but you only ever see the tip on YouTube. But you can see more.
Well, you can't really see more than the tip on YouTube.
Zul'Farrak wasn't
maybe
the only
OnlyFans.
dungeon I entertainingly struggled through. Hallow's End wasn't the only roleplay event I attended, and Dragon wasn't the only person to meet with a terrible fate several times over. So where does my client fall into all of this, you ask? Well, to cut a long camping story short, I drowned him in Menethil Harbor twice. But despite all the many minor inconveniences this guy had suffered at my hands, he had hired my services anyway, and for that, he had my respect. And my daggers. Killing him again, I whispered, and I wasn't gonna get caught this time either. I waited for the Sandstalker to get in melee range, and then I let it rip.
Alright, you didn't predict it last time. However, I'm sure you'll get it this time.
Despite the Sandstalker stealing my kill in my fucking promos, Olmo was dead, again, and my client was free to come and take the farm. As they left, Olmo made the foolish decision to revive right on top of his body, and well, it's very fucking scrubbed to be honest.
Why would you do that?
Freebies secured for my client, and with a warrior now watching over Olmo, it was about time I took my leave and cashed out. All things considered, this had been a very lucrative business trip, and I was ready to return to Hive Regal for more farming. Okay, fine, I'll do
more bugs.
But failure was not an option. I was putting my perfect KDA on the line, and in a 2v1 scenario, the stakes had never been higher. I sapped the warrior, ambushed Olmo, but the warrior immediately broke free, and then Olmo ice blocked. Oh, that's not good.
That's really not good.
UKP attendance was taken. I marked present despite not being present, and was instantly unstealthed by the warrior's demoralizing shout despite resisting it.
Like, I would be mad. I think I would be mad if I was the boss, aka guild leader, and you were just like not there working while everybody is working. I just all play and no work makes me twerk. I don't know.
Instant karma. I can't even be mad. Okay, maybe I should run away. After blowing blind to get the sticky warrior off me, I crawled up the surface, making sure to break line of sight so as to prevent the frostbolt bombardment from continuing. My stealth parkour skills came in clutch as I narrowly avoided certain demise at the hand of Olmo's cone of cold, but it was too little too late. I was already out. Yeah, out of fucks to give, of course I walked right back in there. And unfortunately for Olmo, he had overextended away from their bodyguard. Right onto the end of my cold blood ambush.
Never leave safety. If you're the carry, never leave the tank.
Knowing she wouldn't attack me because, well, that's Nymeria, the only druid I respect. Friend or foe, we go way back. One last thorium vein stolen from these trash idiots and I was out. For real this time. No fake out. Promise. And that's the end of my Hitman story. I took a flight path to Tanaris, put some useless trash on the neutral auction house, and my client purchased them for 100 gold.
I like that. I like that. That's a really good way to
registration. No one was any the wiser of my absence, and I stole the node on respawn from
cross money or transfer money between factions on a server.
Number 2, me on the peon. Every day,
okay, there's chills.
The peon wakes up at the crack of dawn to make his daily pilgrimage from Durotar to Silithus. He does this on foot.
Oh my god, dude.
Poor to afford the public transport, but he does it gladly, and he does it with a smile. The journey is arduous and filled with peril, but who
I hated that Tyrannosaurus Rex in the fucking Ungoro crater.
Silithus, if not for him, every day me on the peon wakes up at the crack of dawn to make his daily pilgrimage from Durotar to Silithus.
I love it. I hate Chell's voice. From Durotar.
When I first heard of me on the peon in general chat, I assumed he was just another hallucination, another symptom of the
bug brain
virus. But then
again.
One day I was so hungry and so hot. Oh man, ice cream sounds so good right now. In that moment, I cried out, "Help me, Meon!" And there he was.
Bad bug, no hurt, Barney.
Meon's helping me kill the mob. He had saved my life and came bearing gifts of frozen cream. I thought it only fair to trade a carapace fragment in return.
Now Meon can be Bug King.
I don't know if Meon the Peon ever became a Bug King, but he is forever a grobulous hero. And also the only person the subreddit has ever liked, including me. Like, no one's making nice memes about me, man. All I get is this shit. And it's all fucking true, like... You know how in Minecraft, when the sun goes down, all the monsters come out, and it's just fucking awful? Well,
yeah.
When the sun went down in Silithus, Neki and Baja Blaster would come out to play every night without fail. Because, as it turns out, a certain Collusion King may or may not have placed a hit on me to counteract my attempts to keep the gates closed. Those same rogues that assassinated me at every auction house I attempted to
bud, later.
now resolved to just straight camping me if I left my own hive. It was, in short, a living hell. Fortunately, this is where my enigmatic shaman tank friend, Hanging Haze, comes into the picture. And yes, I said shaman tank, so you already know what kind of player we're dealing with here. Every so often,
shaman
Hanging Haze sends me mail, and whenever I receive
I didn't know
mail
shamans
him,
could take. Maybe it's an enhanced shaman. I just didn't know they had aggro skills.
That make you astrally project, dice roll trinkets, and discombobulators are all par for the course when Hanging Haze is involved. Hell, even recently in TBC, he gifted me 2 rings which have a chance to freeze your attacker for several seconds, and urged me to do arena with both equipped. Great idea, by the way. So when he heard I was being camped on the daily, or nightly I guess, he did what every good shaman friend would do. He gifted me the portals deck. Dearest Barney Beekeeper, I won't always be there to guard you, blah blah blah, so please do me a favor, keep this trinket with you. They say if you ever fall in battle, this card can bring you back from the Shadowlands.
Okay.
If you're lucky enough, that is.
You gotta love
Now,
like the
whilst
RP on these servers.
Always work, it has absolutely turned the tide of battle more times than I can even count at this point. The item description says it's only a 10% reincarnation rate, but this item procs so much for me, I don't think I will ever go anywhere without it again. Rule 1 of being a rogue is don't fucking die, and with this trinket, I'm unstoppable. Oh my god, there's someone at my front door. They definitely just heard that. Oh my god. No, I was recording something. Okay, thank you. Oh my god! The delivery person heard it. Deep underground in Hive Regal, you don't really hear much of the outside world, save for the incessant nonsense.
This is an amazing video.
Uber Danger's completely clapped Google Pixel phone mic.
I think I fixed it.
Okay.
Listen, the thing is...
John, I think you're going through a tunnel. I think I'm losing you.
No, like I got the mic to my mouth now.
But when there's a rat around, you don't need to hear it to feel it. Also, it helps when people literally just come up to you and say,
"There's a big rat upstairs barn."
According to one of my
every time I hear that voice, I think Bob from SMG4.
Surface spawns and selling our fragments off to the highest bidder. The bastard. I would have to pay a visit to the Goof Hive to hire an assassin. It was shaping up to be just another day in Silithus. Until I found out who the druid was. Keshmu. Where's Keshmu? Need eyes on him. You see him? Please tell me.
Oh, I see him all the time. Hard to miss on that tiger.
This druid secured their spot in the Grobulous Halls of Infamy when they, allegedly, committed one of the worst crimes you can commit in World of Warcraft.
What is
Classic
it?
Edition.
Mount stealing?
Ninjaing the tiger mount from Zul'Gurub. For those who don't know, the list of rarest obtainable mounts in Classic goes a little something like this. And I'm leaving the Scarab Lord mount off this list, so untype that comment, you fucking loser. At the bottom, you have your complete basic Pistol racial mounts, the slow and fast variations. I'm not explaining what these are. Above those are Warlock and Paladin special quest class mounts. Who wrote this fucking script? Side note, the Paladin mount is technically rarer than the Warlock mount because in Classic, only the Alliance can play Paladin, so therefore there's less of them. You see what I'm saying? Above those are the PvP war mounts, which require rank 11 to purchase, which isn't terribly difficult to obtain, but it's definitely a time sink. And then above those is the Winterspring Frost Saber, a mount which can only be obtained by the Alliance, cringe, and requires completion of a tedious...
Well, that's kind of shit, you know? You can't have no option being a horde to get it.
That sounds familiar. And then above that is the Death Charger, a 1% drop from Baron Rivendare, the final boss of the endgame dungeon Stratholm. And then finally we have the Zul'Gurub mounts, the rarest obtainable mounts in Classic. Again, not including Scarab Lord mount. Don't type that comment. You're so dumb. These are, of course, 1% drops from High Priest Thekal and Bloodlord Manakir within the Zul'Gurub raid. But their rarity is only half the reason why they're so coveted. For the Alliance, the Swift Razashi Raptor is the only raptor they can obtain in the game. And inversely, the Swift Zulian Tiger is the only tiger mount the Horde can ride. So you can see why ninjaing one of these mounts would be a pretty big deal,
that's pretty shitty. Why would you want to do that, right?
Raid group. But
other than to get the mount.
Allegations, the final verdict was that Keshmu was innocent because technically he didn't really steal it. The loot just timed out in his bag because he was the master looter in a ZG GDKP. Now, I personally have never been to a ZG GDKP, which took longer than like 45 minutes. So you're telling me this group took more than 2 hours after killing the tiger boss? Sus. There are whispers and rumors on the wind that Keshmu secretly sabotaged the raid to encourage the loot timer to run out before they were done. But I digress. This isn't even my beef with Keshmu to begin with. It's not my mount. It's not my problem. I don't care. The tiger mount looks awful anyway, if you ask me. Also, every time I go to ZG on stream, both mounts seem to drop anyway. Like, wow, you guys are really missing out. Twitch.tv/Barney. I'm gonna keep plugging my stream until you show up.
Yeah, I mean, plug it. Why not? Makes sense.
Goes back. Way back. Back before Zul'Gurub. Back before I was even raiding. Back before people had even taken notice of my superior World of Warcraft content. My beef goes back to... I had just
2019,
failed
okay.
to complete a lower Blackrock Spire run after a hunter had ninja looted the robe of the Archmage pattern away from the group's mage. The group's mage was also the person that brought the healer and tank with him, so it was GG no re. I hearthed to Kargath, invited a friend from guild who was looking to start a dungeon, and this is where our story begins. Now, because I'm actually trying to finish these fucking dungeons, I had the genius idea to get everyone to say they agree to not needing on BOEs unless they're an actual upgrade before the run would even begin. That way, if someone did ninja something, I would have the evidence necessary to put their reputation in the mud. With an idea this good, nothing could possibly go wrong.
Sure, I agree. Smiley face.
After a brief discussion on where we each needed to go, we settled on Scholarments and I jumped into looking for group to fill the party. Less than 10 minutes later, the job was already done because, man, Phase 1 WoW Classic was, oh, what a magical time to be a gamer. And each and every party member has agreed to my no needing on BOEs that aren't an upgrade for your class rules, so this is gonna be really good.
Okay.
Betrayal joins the party. Another 10 minutes pass and I show up to Scholarments alongside the Warlock and the Shaman with my passive.
I mean, how do you know? Like maybe they need it for their alt character, you know?
She had the key to the door. Without me, entrance to this dungeon would require completion of a 5-part quest chain, a quest chain which requires completion of another separate quest chain to even begin. It's like a 3-hour ordeal. I've never done it. I play rogue. But what can I say? I came prepared with max lockpicking because I'm a team player. These gamers were lucky to have ended up in my group. Some more than others. We summon the rest of the group and head inside for what would unravel to be one of the smoothest dungeon experiences I had had up to this point in the game. I mean, this shaman was dropping Wind Fury. I already poisoned my main hand though. Without a single death, we cleared the first room, the mini-boss, the second room, the secret blood ritual boss.
They're doing pretty
and
good.
The third room. I don't think I've ever been in a dungeon group this good. Even when clearing out the basement, the uncontested worst part of the dungeon, we didn't flinch. 9 parties out of 10 might skip this room and its boss, but not us. For we were 5 Chad alpha hardcore WoW gamers in their prime, ahead of the curve and thriving. We took that momentum and plowed through the hatchery and into Rattlegaw's domain. This trash is known to slap, but I slap harder, bitch. I learned it from my parents. And then my Shadowcraft boots dropped. For those not in the know, these boots are part of the Rogue class-specific dungeon set, which, after collecting every piece and doing a long quest chain, eventually upgrades into the Dark Mantle set, which is just completely broken. I roll a 100 and win the boots. This is my first ever time in Scholarments. A terrible omen. You see, I hadn't figured this out back then, but good luck and bad luck are actually the same thing. It's all
it's just different scales.
Shadowcraft boots on my first.
It's like hot and cold are the same thing.
On my 206th Upper Blackrock Spire run was also very lucky when you really think about it. In the naive pursuit of good luck, I have cursed myself forevermore. I got what I wanted, and now it is all I can do but to bear witness to my fate and smile. Nice little upgrade. Oh, I was so naive back then. I wish there was some way to go back in time to warn you. I really do. I'm so undeserving of what's about to happen.
Is this good?
Alcor's Sunraiser dropped. The Phase 1 pre-raid offhand biss for Dagger Rogues. Outside of Core Houndtooth from Molten Core, it literally doesn't get better than this. So why am I wielding 2 Gutgore Rippers now, you might be wondering? Because you got snubbed on Core Houndtooth, Perdition's Blade for 10 months straight across 2 guilds, and everyone that actually ended up with those weapons quit or just couldn't outperform you. That's actually why. But what were you saying? No, I have double Gutgore Ripper right now because even though I had the entire party in 4K, well, 720p upscaled to 1080p, agreeing to not need on any BOEs unless they were a legitimate upgrade for your class, they all needed on the fucking dagger anyway.
Of course. Why wouldn't they?
It's a BOE epic. You can't expect that from people.
I can expect it if you agreed to it prior to coming. The rolls went out, and if it wasn't for that damn druid Keishmu, I would have won. And this is where I started huffing the copium. I hadn't just been injured. Keishmu's a guildie. We've been in so many dungeon runs together. He wouldn't throw me under the bus for 500 gold, would he? As it turns out, yes. He would. The team cleared the rest of the dungeon as I sat completely shook, crying in the corner like a little bitch. When the dungeon was done, I checked the auction house right away.
It's fair.
And there it was, my dagger. This ends bad for you. Keishmu made a mistake fucking over an undead that day because, as with every Forsaken,
a tale of betrayal.
And I do not forget, 307 days later, I would have my revenge. Did you think I had forgotten?
I think they probably did think that you forgot. Or forgiven.
Now, the terrible vengeance of the beekeeper.
That rogue.
Death to the rats and death to the druids.
This isn't over.
You're right. It's not. I had Keishmu camped all day until he eventually went to bed. In hindsight, I wish I got more shots of his ass getting lit up, but well, time was running out.
Okay. What about the bugs?
He offered to get me in on a DoorDash delivery scam, and all he needed was my address. Yeah, okay. But Barney, it's your turn. You're up. Time to farm more bugs.
Alright, this isn't gonna be easy to say to you. I mean, you're not stupid, but you know, it's really not looking good for you. With Hayes finishing in the next 30 minutes, we gotta move on to his quest line, so most of the guild's gonna leave the zone. And that's basically, it's gonna be you, the rats, and whatever else is left out there that cares about you getting scareboard. Looks like a bunch of mages that barely know how to drop a blizzard on the ground. I mean, it's pretty hard. It's
not good.
In class, but they make it look really hard. The presence you're gonna have in Solithus once Hayes moves out is probably not substantial enough to carry you through where you want to get it. I can't keep people out farming imaginary bug kill points. At some point, they're gonna realize that it's a big scam, and they're gonna drop out. So you're just letting you know if you're serious about this, which I know you are. But if you're really, really serious about this, you gotta make something radical happen.
He was right.
Like what radical thing do we need to make happen?
It wasn't looking good 3 weeks ago when I was 18th on the list, let alone today when it's the start of my farm 48 hours before the gates open. However, a few days ago, an ingenious epiphany struck me. With the war effort now complete, I was once again left with a simply obscene amount of gold laying around that no longer has a purpose. I was also left with a zone full of fragments selling rats with a dwindling buyer's market. Quick timeline check. It's currently August 16th. Every single guild who isn't final boss or goof has vacated Silithus days ago. I am the only Scarab Lord target left on the server. The market price for a carapace fragment has fallen from a peak of 4.12 gold to sub 1 gold depending on your buyer. Yesterday, I personally bought out the last remaining farming guild Horde Mafia of their 7,200 fragment stockpile for 75 silver each.
That seems
so I could
seems good, right?
Final part of my monopolizing Silithus. You see, anyone now left in Silithus not in final boss or goof is farming fragments in the hopes of selling them off to the highest bidder. However, with me as literally the only buyer left on the server, I now have the monopoly on the fragments. 50 silver is the only price. If you had stockpiled fragments, you were forced to either sell them to me or go fuck yourself. Those fragments are going to be vendor trash tomorrow, so I think we both know what you're going to do. If you wanted to keep farming, well, you could make up to 2 gold per mob kill, which is still a way better gold farm than pretty much anywhere else.
Okay.
A fair wage for a fair job. But even with this in mind, my guild leader was right. It wasn't looking good. I currently have less than 48 hours to not only finish my entire bug farm, but then also
I thought everybody on the list was supposed to help out until the list was complete.
This is just the 3rd quest.
That doesn't seem fair.
It's really not looking good. I put 5,400 gold into 7,200 fragments, and that's still barely a dent in the 42,000 total fragments I need to finish my bug farm. And with only about 5,000 gold left, at this rate, I would go broke before I'd even be halfway done. But let's say I did it. Let's say I spent all my gold and I'm about halfway done. Could I finish my bug farm in a reasonable time frame? Warning. Well, there's around 300 possible bug spawns on the map. They have a respawn timer of at most 15 minutes, and you can safely assume you'll get an average of 2 fragments per kill. So with these things in mind, if you work at peak AoE efficiency across the entire map, and this is assuming there's no PvP, there's no interruption, and then nothing else is going on, you can get 2,400 fragments per hour. So let's say I only need 21,000 fragments because I'm halfway through, and we work at half of the peak possible efficiency and get 1,200 fragments an hour. I could technically finish my bug farm in 17 hours, which would then leave 31 hours for the rest of the quest, yeah right, and 0 hours for sleep. It could work. However,
yeah, who needs sleep, you know? Sleep is for the dead.
They had left Silithus to help Hayes with his questline, and they probably weren't coming back. I was left with a bunch of mages and shamans, and respectfully speaking, the mages were single target Andes used to raiding. If I wanted them efficiently AoE farming the now mostly barren Silithus, I was going to have to teach them how to do it. But I don't play mage, and I really don't have the time to learn, which means I am left no choice. What is
options? Can you buy out the person in front of you on the list?
I am drawn to this place. I know things about it now. Things I shouldn't have seen. Things I should not know. Things I want to show you, like the secret entrance to the Caverns of Time. Wow. But that is not the only thing. Have you ever thought about how your life could have been different had you made alternate decisions at key moments in your life?
Sure, we all have them, sure.
Richer, more fulfilled had you chosen another path?
Yeah.
Would you be worse off? I think about this.
Potentially. Could be a lot worse off, right?
Then a lot. The Caverns of Time holds the entrance to every timeline and every reality that could ever exist. But in the pursuit of forbidden knowledge, sacrifices will be made one way or another. I don't know if this is going to work, but the theory is airtight, and I'm really left no choice.
Okay.
Wish me luck. It's time.
Good luck, I guess. Good luck. How are you going to rewind time?
What you are witnessing here is a level 59 undead mage, 3 experience points away from level 60, about to enter Ironforge for the first time. And what better way to ding 60 than to parkour up the side of a giant mountain, drop down onto this unsuspecting level 8 night elf, and palm pyro him to the Shadow Realm?
That's a great way, I guess.
Being a mage. My class was quite a tough choice because I had to battle the temptation to pick rogue, and with OP stealth, OP damage, opening lockboxes, and objectively the best PvP experience due to busted no fun allowed combos, you're probably wondering, why did I pick mage? Well,
so you could farm faster.
This guy, and this guy, and this guy, and this guy. Why stop at just one mage when I can multi-box an army? Why hug dungeons when I can just pull the entire thing by myself? Why level in a group when I can just be the group?
It's a good point. Be the group. I think that's what Bruce Lee said.
I promise.
Be like the group, my friend. Be the group.
Nothing. You are all nothing. Nothing. Quest for the carrot on a stick, a trinket that gives 3% bonus move speed, but that's for idiots that didn't pick mage, am I right? Hello? I can teleport. I need more. And if you think I'm attending this roleplay event instead of farming gold, how did I get epic raft amounts for all my mages? I have but one goal. As many Scarab Lords as possible. All for myself. Who could stop me? Who could possibly stop me?
I don't know who could. Riot? I don't know. Not Riot. Blizzard?
Oh, that's not good. You know, there was a part of me that thought maybe you would be smart enough to just not show up. Well, you know me. Shut up. Yeah, we're not gonna need any talking from you. See, I know why you're here, and I know why you're here, and I know you know that we've both seen this timeline play out, so before I kill you, let me ask you this. Why are you here? Alas, a rhetorical question I don't need an answer to because I already know the answer.
What is the answer?
Instead of not coming here and not dying like you could have done, you came here intentionally to die for one reason. Because you were never going to get Scarab Lord in the first place, were you? You already saw it way back then. Way back then.
Oh, wow.
You still made all this fuss over it. All those empty promises. Oh, the sand really did make you delusional, didn't it? You saw the successful timelines and thought, why not me? Even though you knew from the start you were destined for failure. It would be admirable if it wasn't so fucking pathetic. So now you've come here to die like a coward in another timeline so that you might disappear a legend in your own and not have to face your own failure. God, you really are from the worst timeline, huh? Well, don't worry, little rogue. I promise.
Wow, my mind is fucked right now.
Dreams. 100-fold. Every farming spot in the game is capped by me. Every dungeon booster is me. No mage can possibly hope to outbid me in any GDKP because I am the economy. And don't worry about me getting Scarab Lord. I've already farmed 50 scepters because I am Silithus. Even now as we speak, I'm efficiently farming all 3 hives and the spire. No one can stand against me. I am fully self-sufficient. The perfect single-player experience.
The storytelling is fucking phenomenal in this video.
Goodbye. And so ends the tale of Barney Beekeeper, the rogue who ran out of time. But as for me, well, I still have Scarab Lords to farm. Which means all of you should have hearthed already. You know, you guys used to be a lot more responsive. Now you're just fucking useless. You're just useless. If I wasn't here, you would fall apart. And I suppose I better go check and see if they actually buried the dragon like I commanded them to. You just can't get the stuff.
They probably didn't. They probably did not bury the dragon.
Dearest Barney Beekeeper, I won't always be there to guard you, and the ancestors foretell you'll keep fighting even if I'm not there to heal. So please do me a favor and keep this trinket with you. They say if you ever fall in battle, this card can bring you back from the Shadowlands. If you're lucky enough, that is.
Bro, what?
How are you still alive? Stay back! Get away from me! I'm warning you!
Wow. Oh my god, dude, the storytelling.
If I try to solo even one elite mob in Silithus, I have to use all my cooldowns, and even then I barely survive. But you know what makes it easier? Don't say it. My friends. Cringe. See, whilst you
The
were
power
at
of
home
friendship.
studying the arcane, I was out partying on the overworld, in dungeons, at roleplay events, socializing.
Cringe!
You've spent so much time alone that I bet you don't even know what a Wind Fury totem does, or what a Chain Heal feels like, am I right? My shaman always has my back, even if they're not here. But where are your mages now, huh? You sent them off to farm more meaningless gold so you can continue the loop of doing everything by yourself, and for what? So you're not meant to be able to do everything alone and on demand. The social aspect is part of the experience. The tedium of forming a group. The shitters, the leavers, the egos, the ninjas, and overcoming it all anyway. That's the point. That is the world.
Just the world that you
of
craft.
Warcraft. And the world isn't a perfect place. You can't always have your way, and sometimes things go wrong. But is victory even worth chasing if there's no struggle? This is so cringe. Oh god, is this how I sounded when I was monologuing to you? Oh, come now. Don't try to hide from the truth, Barney. We've always been cringe.
No. No, I am... based.
This might be the best thing I've ever seen.
Thank you, stranger. With the horrible mage dead, my spirit can finally rest. Goodbye.
He killed Kuman? That's just messed up. I'm sorry, Kuman. I couldn't save you in this timeline. Oh, but you're not sorry you couldn't save me, huh? Why is there so many characters in this scene? Oh, it's me as a priest. Wait, a healer? Wow, I'm actually offended. No, I'm Shadow. Oh, that makes more sense. Wait, Shadow in Classic? Yikes. Okay, so I guess you're the rude one. Oh, that's how he silenced me. Yes, it's as we all theorized. Consuming the brain matter of yourself from another timeline grants you their memories. Which means if you eat his brain,
Good to know.
you'll be able to understand mage stuff. I'll be able to lead my army of frost. Okay, Lich King, just interrupt me, I guess. You know what? You'll figure it out. My spirit is finally at peace, so I'm going bye. Dickhead. Oh, I like that guy. Okay, here I go cannibalizing again.
Paul, I don't know why you didn't tell me to watch this sooner. This is fucking amazing.
Wait, it's that easy? It's that easy? I broke time for this knowledge. Oh my god. And so I left the mage timeline with my forbidden arcane intellect. And I'm like really smart now, you guys. Like, did you know that these mages aren't actually conjuring fire or ice? Yeah, that fireball, that's just arcane, but it's really hot. That frostbolt, that's just arcane. It's just really cold. They're huge fucking frauds. You think that's food you're eating? Okay, I should probably teach these fucking mages how to play. I gathered all the mages inside my hive, and lo, did I part with my forbidden AoE farming techniques that I definitely got from eating the brain of me from another timeline and not from Pint. Not from Pint.
Frost Nova?
Mm-hmm.
Wizard?
Yep.
Arcane Explosion.
Okay. Now, is there a way that you might be able to simplify that? Just, not for me, but, you know, for these guys. Hello? It was a lot to take in. Some of these mages were a natural. Some of these mages were clowns. And some of these mages didn't make it at all. But after the AoE training was complete, my army of Frost was ready. 48 hours left. It was time to farm bugs.
Dude, that's insane. Just having the friends like this to be able to do this for you, that's fucking so awesome.
Guys? I might have miscounted.
How many more do you need?
We need 97 more. Let's go, Ashy. Let's go, people.
You know what? That's okay. Slight miscalculation. No big deal.
Let's fucking go! 19 hours later, we had finished my bug farm. When I started this journey some 3 weeks ago, I honestly never expected to even have a shot at attempting the rep grind, let alone finish it. But here I stood.
Congratulations.
46th and final person on Grobulus who would finish their rep farm before the gates would open. Speaking of the gates, they're due to open in 29 hours, and, well, I mean, you can see the video length. Are you gonna make me spell this out? Yes? Okay. Firstly, I haven't slept since, I don't know. There are still 29 quests to do, and whilst the bug farm section is by far the longest, hardest part of the quest chain, most of these quests still need a large raid group to complete, especially the parts of the quest that actually have you going into the raid's Molten Core and Blackwing Lair and beating the raid. Furthermore, my guild had fully completed 10 Scarab Lords at this point, which meant pretty much everyone had used their weekly raiding lockouts assisting those targets. They wouldn't be able to help me even if they wanted to, and so this is unfortunately where my Scarab Lord story ends.
Bad ending. Very bad ending. We don't like this ending.
Is what I would say if I was a bitch. Oh, I'm
okay,
sorry.
fair enough.
Did you
okay.
forget who you were watching?
Yes,
I made
I
a
did.
promise
I did.
that I was
I
going to
apologize.
see this event through to the very end, and those gates are not open yet. 29 hours, 29 quests, 0 hours sleep, because that's my ninja way.
Very good. Very good. With that being said, we're gonna end stream here for the night because it is late and I have to get to bed. If you're watching this in the future, thank you. If you were here on YouTube, I apologize for not getting back to you. I'm not at home. I'm not at home, therefore I cannot see everything. So thank you guys.